Welcome to the fantasy audiobook. Hokage, Konoha no Revenge from Becoming Naruto. Chapter 41. Are they already this strong? Iruka was a little surprised. He didn't expect that these immature children in his class would become independent ninjas so quickly. Alas. In that case, I have no objection, my lord. 3 generations. Iruka said. 3 generations nodded. Do you have anyone else to recommend? If not, let's make it. All the ninjas shook their heads, they were still self-aware of their students. Then it's decided. 3 generations took a puff of cigarette, and then exhaled deeply. All the classes that decide to join, please come to me to get the registration form, and the rest can leave first. The next day at 8 o'clock in the morning. Naruto, this is the form to fill out for the Chunin exam, please fill it out. Kakashi said to Naruto, who was training beside him. Come to a clone and fill it out. Naruto said casually. Coming. A shadow clone walked up to Kakashi and wrote his name without hesitation. Okay, then I'll go first, Naruto. Kakashi took back the Chunin exam form, said hello to Naruto, and left. Immediately afterwards, Kakashi went to Uchiha's residence and Haruno Sakura's home, and asked them to fill in their names, then went to Hokage's office and handed in the list. A week later, it's finally started, the Chunin exam. Naruto calmly looked at the ninjas from other villages who were coming and going in the leaves, and couldn't help showing a smile. Then he looked gently at the black Yaguman beside him and said, go into the dark emblem first, and I will let you out when the time comes. Okay, Naruto. Black Yaguman nodded obediently, and then turned into a stream of data and flowed into Naruto's dark badge. Let's go, Naruto said, walking towards the venue of the Chunin exam. But when he walked to the side of the examination room, he saw Sasuke staring at a boy with red hair and a sand gourd on his back. Is it Gaara? 9 llamas, come out to meet old friends. Naruto said to Kyuubi in his body, and then walked in the direction of the 2. Old friend. Kurama was slightly taken aback when he heard Naruto's words. What old friends does he have? Could it be those 8 idiots? Oh, it's that fat raccoon cat, this idiot is here too. Kyuubi looked out with the help of Naruto's eyes, and saw the big fat civet cat inside the body of the red-haired kid at a glance, and immediately lost interest. That idiot is simply embarrassing us, so I don't want to see it. After Nine Tails finished speaking, he withdrew immediately. Gaara, stop messing around, this is Konoha, and the exam is about to start. Kankuro looked around in fear, and whispered to Gaara. Temari also couldn't help but nodded. This is not Sand Ninja Village. If you cause trouble in other people's territory, you will suffer a lot. To shut up. Gaara's cold voice made Kankuro and Temari tremble, and they dared not speak anymore. Starting from nothing, slowly, the sand in the Gaga gourd kept flying out, surrounding him, making the expressions of Kankuro and Temari change. Hey, Gaara, this is not a joke, something will happen if you really do it. Kankuro said anxiously. Is this the power from his mother Garura who has been guarding Gaara? It's quite interesting. Naruto looked at the sand flying all over the sky with great interest. You fool, why did you come here? After Sasuke noticed Naruto, he couldn't help but heaved a sigh of relief, and then said coldly. What, if I don't come, you won't be able to deal with him? Naruto was still watching Gaara's sand, and replied Sasuke lightly. Are you kidding? I'm Uchiha Sasuke. Under these eyes, no one can beat me, said Sasuke proudly, and opened his own Sharingan in a demonstration. So, Sharingan has awakened. Naruto looked at it with a little surprise. In the original book, Sasuke was able to skillfully open Sharingan, which seemed to be in the process of fighting Shiro, but the previous Zabujan incident was handled by him alone. Unexpectedly, Sasuke also awakened Sharingan. Of course, seeing Naruto's surprise, Sasuke became even more proud. Then you were really amazing. Naruto withdrew his gaze, but it was just a kaleidoscope. If it was a kaleidoscope, he might still be a little interested. Speaking of which, Konoha is too comfortable to have an emotional outburst. You guy. Sasuke heard the indifference in Naruto's tone, and couldn't help but grit his teeth. The Chunin exam is about to start, let's go. After Naruto finished speaking, he turned around and prepared to enter the examination room. But a yellow sand blocked his way. Naruto didn't speak, but turned his head and looked at Gaara calmly. A trace of scarlet flashed in his pale blue eyes. Shuhei, take good care of your family's Renjuli, otherwise, be careful that I will kill him. After speaking, Naruto continued to move in the direction just now, but this time, there was no yellow sand to stop him. Only because, don't you kill people without looking at who they are. You can deal with that guy. It's unlucky to see that stinky fox. A slightly flustered scold sounded in Gaara's heart. Why? Gaara frowned, although he didn't know why the monster would take the initiative to talk to him, but what reason did it have to prevent him from killing? Why? You have the nerve to ask why. That guy is more than 10 times stronger than you. You ask me why. I don't want to die if you want to die. Shuhei scolded Gaara in his heart, and at the same time, he felt uncomfortable. His grandma was actually threatened by the stinky fox's Renjuli. If he was not still inside Renjuli, he must go out and kill him. How dare you threaten me? Who are you? Gaara ignored the words of the monster in his heart, and looked at the man's back with cold panda eyes. Whirlpool Naruto, Naruto said without looking back. Uzumaki Naruto, I remember you. Gaara took a deep look at Naruto and said, then, he also took Temari and Kankuro to the Chunin exam venue, but they walked in another direction. Scared me. Sakura was really relieved now. The panda eyes put too much pressure on her. She really didn't dare to say a word from the beginning to the end. Cut. Sasuke glanced at the direction Gaara left, and curled his lips unwillingly. To actually only ask Naruto's name but not Uchiha Sasuke's name is obviously underestimating him. During the Chunin exam, he will definitely let that guy know how good he is. After all, under these eyes, no one can be his opponent. Even Naruto. Probably. Sasuke thought uncertainly. Please let us go. Before the three of them reached the door of the classroom, they heard a girl pleading. Hearing the reputation and looking, sure enough, it was that poor acting by Rock Lee and Tien Tien. Go away, we're going up. After Sasuke glanced at it, he stopped looking, but said disdainfully to the two Chunin who were guarding the door, he who had awakened Sharingan had an arrogance over others, he didn't think that the two were their opponents. We don't know what you mean. The two Chunin smiled, and were not angry at Sasuke's words, just said so. This kind of inferior illusion is full of flaws under these eyes. Sasuke said proudly. Boom, boom. After Naruto knocked the two into the air with ease, he glanced at Sasuke and said, next time, if you can do it, try not to talk too much. You and I know. Sasuke gritted his teeth, and finally curled his lips. He opened Sharingan just to pretend to be a wave. If he knew it, he would have done it quickly. Now Naruto has stolen the limelight. Naruto nodded, and then walked to the venue alone. Sasuke and Sakura followed behind Naruto. That guy is so strong. He even defeated two Chunin by himself, and the speed was so fast, I didn't even realize it. I didn't even see that it was an illusion. It's over. I have absolutely no hope for this Chunin exam. Go back, let's go, this year is definitely hopeless, come back next year. Quote. Naruto's insignificant strength to him made all the candidates present retreat, and many of them even prepared to go home. Those who didn't even see the illusion even left directly. Neji, Naruto and Sasuke, who looked in every day, also had a little surprise in their eyes, but they didn't pay much attention. After all, they had already seen it, and they just wanted to keep a low profile. Shaoli stared at Sakura's back, wondering what he was thinking. The two Chunin who were kicked out stood up, smiled at each other, and said, it seems that this year's candidates are very good, not to mention those candidates, even I myself didn't realize it, and my body flew out. Who isn't? This year's competition is probably a bit interesting. In the exam venue, just after Naruto and the three entered it, they heard a burst of noise, like a vegetable market, very lively. Hey, Naruto, Sasuke, you guys are here too. Ino saw that Naruto's eyes lit up, and he walked towards the three of them bouncingly, and greeted them cordially. Oh, and here comes the wide forehead. A cross popped out of Sakura's head. You wild boar, what are you talking about? If she didn't want to maintain a ladylike appearance in front of Sasuke and Naruto, Sakura would definitely pick up Ino's head and smash it on the ground. At the same time, Kiba, Shino, and Hinata also walked towards the three of them. Naruto nodded slightly to several people, but said nothing. He didn't know these people very well, and he had hardly spoken to them. To him, these people were no different from strangers. But Naruto glanced in Hinata's direction from the corner of his eye, and saw that she was rubbing against her collar with a flushed face. Her body was trembling. She would glance at Naruto before everyone noticed, and then quickly retracted, then looked again, and retracted again, so repeatedly. For Hinata's small movements, even if her heart is as calm as Naruto, there is a slight movement, and a sentence from Lao Shi suddenly comes to mind. At that time, there was no rouge, girls' faces were only red for their sweethearts. Naruto put his emotions back to the bottom of his heart, and gave Hinata a complicated look. If he really doesn't like Hinata, it must be a lie. Who doesn't like such a kind, gentle, strong, shy and soft-hearted heroine who is devoted to Naruto? But is Hinata really willing to go with him? What he wants to do is to destroy Konoha. Although some people will be killed, most of Konoha will be destroyed by him. At that time, Hinata and Naruto are opposites. When the time comes, will she still look at him with this look? No matter how dark Konoha is, one thing I have to admit is that the whole story of Hokage revolves around the will of fire. Everyone in Konoha has their own will of fire. What is the will of fire in Hinata's heart? Call. Naruto shook his head. It's useless to think about these things now. The human heart is the most complicated thing. Maybe Hinata's feelings for him are not that deep. It's just that his childhood experience made him have a great impression of Naruto. That is not necessarily liking. Even if it is liking, it has not yet transformed into love. This kind of emotion is easy to arise and easy to disappear. Naruto continued to close his eyes and meditate, and Hinata also maintained his previous small movements. The other Xiaoqiang, including Sasuke, were all talking to each other about their experiences in the past few months. Hey, you newcomers, look around you. You have already provoked public anger. Suddenly, a voice came into the ears of Naruto and the others. Naruto turned his head to look, his eyes narrowed, and the pharmacist was in his pocket. After hearing Do's reminder, the others finally realized that almost everyone in the current classroom is focusing on them and looking at them with ill intentions. It is estimated that the tension brought about by the exam made them need an object to vent. Who are you? Ya looked around nonchalantly. Although the slightly murderous eyes of those people made him a little scared, he still didn't care on the surface. Yaoshido pushed his glasses, and said with a smile, "My name is Yaoshido, I can be considered your senior. This year is my 7th time to take the Chunin exam." Just like the original book, I revealed the identity information of others to a few curious people, and then despised Otonin village, which attracted the attack of the Otonin trio, and the glasses were directly shattered. Quiet me up, you fools. Just when the atmosphere became tense, a puff of white smoke spread. When the smoke dissipated, the examiners headed by Morino Ibiki appeared in everyone's eyes. His face was covered with scars left by torture, which successfully gave the group of ninjas a powerful blow. The atmosphere instantly quieted down. After the farce between Otonin and Yakushido, Morino Ibiki announced the exam rules, and then began to distribute the test papers. After getting the test paper, Naruto browsed it roughly. It was just some common questions about ninjas, and it was not difficult for him. His poor theory is just pretending, and he actually listens carefully in every class. It is impossible for him not to understand the importance of knowledge. For example, Orochimaru, if it is not a foundation of knowledge, how could he be in a class like Hokage? Ninjutsu, faith-based world study science. Waving the tip of the pen, Naruto quickly wrote the answers from the first question to the last question. And some of the other candidates are the 8 immortals crossing the sea, each showing their magical powers: white eyes, sharing eyes, sandy eyes, heart changing. The cheating magic powers can be described as varied. Of course, some clumsy plagiarism methods that the examiners couldn't stand were invited out. Every time the minute hand jumps a certain distance, a class will leave, and the number of people in the classroom will gradually decrease. The time passed gradually as the examinees showed their talents. The 1-hour exam time soon passed more than half. The classroom, which was originally slow, suddenly became much more empty. Candidates with useless cheating methods are basically eliminated. Even if they don't know how to cheat, why keep them? Looking around the empty classroom, Morino Hibiki nodded in satisfaction. This is what he wanted, but there are still too many people, and the fun has just begun. Then, a cruel smile appeared on Morino Hibiki's face. the time is coming soon, you fools, now put down the pens in your hands and start entering the last question. Next, is the 10th question. Naruto crossed his arms, leaned back on the chair, and watched boredly as the guy above announced a multiple-choice question of answer or not. This can also deceive those candidates with poor mental ability. If this kind of question is left in the previous life, no one will care about him at all. But something beyond Naruto's imagination. Hibiki Morinoi's words seemed to scare away many people, and the number of candidates in the classroom began to drop sharply again. Seeing more and more candidates withdrawing, some candidates who were originally confident in themselves began to feel confused. A thought that I should quit gradually emerged. Because there was no intervention by Naruto, some of these people strengthened their beliefs, and some left the examination room. Compared with the original book, many more people were eliminated this time. But it doesn't matter, this Chunin exam will not be perfect. Bang bang. With the end of the first exam, suddenly, the sound of glass shattering came, and Midori Anko appeared on the stage. After looking at the number of people left in the examination room, he waved his hands indifferently. There are still too many people, it seems that your face, Yubixi, is useless. What are you talking about? A sign of the cross popped out of Morino Ibiki's head. Ha ha ha, don't mind, I just think you are much more friendly than before. Hongdu patted Yubixi on the shoulder and said. Then he looked at the candidates in the examination room seriously and said. I'm the examiner for your second round. In the next exam, I'm going to wipe out at least half of the people. Ignoring everyone's horrified gazes, Hongdu explained some related questions about the second exam and left. Seeing this, the candidates couldn't help but breathe a sigh of relief. It's only the first exam today, and so many people have already been eliminated. It's really hard for them to imagine what kind of hardships they will go through next. Are the Chunin exams so difficult? Ignoring others, Naruto stood up indifferently, and walked to the place Kakashi explained together with Sasuke and Sakura. After Kakashi told the three of them some basic information about the Forest of Death, he disbanded the team directly. Time soon to the next day. All the candidates came to the venue of the second exam. The Forest of Death is also known as the 44 Training Ground. This is a circular practice field for survival in the wild with 44 entrances, all of which are locked. There are rivers and forests inside, and there is a tower in the middle. The distance from 44 entrances to the tower is about 10 kilometers. Hongdu explained to them the specific requirements and time of the exam. However, Naruto's mind was attracted by a person who exudes a strange aura and wears the forehead of the grass ninja village. Orochimaru. Naruto could tell his identity at a glance. With that snake-like dark temperament, it was hard for people not to guess the identity of the other party, especially when they were familiar with each other. So, Naruto looked at Hongdu. Why didn't you respond at all? What are you looking at, kid? Red Bean glared at Naruto. No, nothing. Naruto did not explain, silently waiting for the exam to start. Humph. Hongdu snorted coldly, then casually threw the scrolls of sky and scrolls of earth to each team, and the teams they got also entered their respective entrances to start the exam. The exam time is 120 hours, which is 5 days. After entering the Death Forest, Naruto threw the scroll of earth to Sakura. Go straight to the direction of the central tower, they will take the initiative to find us. Naruto said lightly. Understood. Sasuke and Sakura nodded. They are basically led by Naruto now. Without him, Naruto is the strongest. 10 minutes later. Come yet. Naruto, who was walking forward, paused, and looked towards a hidden grass in the front right. What's wrong, Naruto? Seeing Naruto stop, Sakura asked a little strangely. She didn't find anything unusual. Could it be that direction? Sasuke followed Naruto's line of sight to look in that direction, but found nothing. Sharp gold talisman. Naruto ignored the two, and a long sword with golden light flew from his hand. Puff. The transformation technique is good. Naruto praised. If he didn't have Kagura's mind and eyes, Kyuubi's ability to perceive emotions, and his own 3-body art is better than him, it might not be obvious. Of course, these three are only one as required. Naruto stepped forward, took out a scroll from the clothes of the Taki Shinobu he killed just now, and held it in his hand. It's now. 2 successful voices sounded above Naruto. 5 thunder talismans. Boom. Thunderbolt. Ah. Accompanied by 2 screams, From nothing to nothing, the two ninjas who wanted to sneak attack Naruto disappeared under the destruction of thunder. Died, Sasuke swallowed, and couldn't help but say, how long is this? A team is gone. He just saw Naruto draw something on his hand and it was over. Seeing Naruto's relaxed and indifferent appearance, it must be useless. This guy, did he really leave him so far? Naruto opened the scroll and looked at it. Fortunately, the scroll of heaven. Come on, our mission is over. Naruto said calmly, and then threw the scroll to Sakura. Okay, Sakura nodded blankly. Little devil, can you please hand over that scroll to us? Just when the three were about to leave, a somewhat gloomy voice reached their ears. I thought you would wait. After all, if you do something here, Konoha's support will come soon. Naruto turned to look at the big tree, and said without any surprise. Oh, from what Naruto-kun means, it seems that he has discovered me a long time ago. A guy wearing a bamboo hat came out, stuck out his tongue and licked his lips, looking at Naruto with interest. There's no reason why I can't feel such a huge chakra, right? Besides, Senior Orochimaru should know that I'm from the Uzumaki clan, right? Naruto looked at Orochimaru and said with a smile. Hiss. It seems that Naruto-kun knows his identity. Orochimaru squinted his eyes. He didn't know if Naruto knew he was the son of the fourth Hokage. If he knew, it would be interesting. Senior Orochimaru doesn't need to care about this, but this junior wants to borrow something from Senior Orochimaru. I don't know if Senior Orochimaru is willing. Naruto said with a smile. What would you like? Orochimaru said interestingly that the son of Namikaze Minato seemed to be completely different from what he had heard. I want the bodies of Minakame Minato and Kushina Uzumaki. Naruto said. Oh, it seems that you really know your identity, son of the fourth Hokage, Naruto. Orochimaru said with a strange color in his eyes. What? Sasuke and Sakura couldn't help but look at Naruto in horror when they heard this. The son of the fourth Hokage. Naruto is the son of the fourth Hokage. That's not right. If Naruto is the son of the fourth Hokage, why don't we know? Sakura said strangely, son of the fourth Hokage. What a noble status. That is the son of a hero. He should be respected, but no one has ever told them that Naruto is the son of the fourth Hokage. Monster and Demon Fox are Naruto's original titles. Sasuke's expression was complicated. If he guessed correctly, Konoha's identity should have been hidden by Naruto, and thinking of Naruto's enduring what happened at school. If it were him, he might not be able to bear it long ago. He is obviously the son of a hero, but he has tasted bitterness that he shouldn't have tasted. How? Senior Orochimaru agrees or disagrees. Naruto didn't seem to hear other people's comments, he still looked at Orochimaru with a smile. Why are you so sure that your parents' bodies are here with me? Orochimaru didn't answer, but asked another question. I don't think I need to explain. What does Oshimaru-senpai think? Naruto looked into Orochimaru's eyes and said calmly. If I don't give it, how about you? As Orochimaru's words fell, Naruto, who was smiling at first, suddenly burst into a powerful aura, and chakra, who was violent and destructive, surrounded him with a hint of darkness. Do you want to start? Dashimaru's eyes flashed a trace of fear, and at the same time, he was a little surprised. This kind of aura, undoubtedly the aura of Kage level, could make him feel threatened. Has Naruto's strength reached Kage level? Is it even considered top-notch in the movie class? Naruto smiled and didn't speak, his eyes kept staring at Orochimaru. After a long while, Orochimaru was silent for a moment, then let go and said, I can only give you Uzumaki Kushina's body, Namikaze Minato, I'm useful. As he spoke, he spit out a scroll from his mouth like vomiting. Thank you, Orochimaru-senpai. Naruto withdrew his momentum, didn't dislike the drool on the scroll at all, took it over, took out the paper and wiped it carefully. Seeing this scene, Sasuke and Sakura couldn't help feeling a little nauseous. They never imagined that there would be a strange thing that swallowed the scroll in their stomachs and could spit it out. Aren't you going to ask me what I'm going to do with your father's body? Orochimaru said hoarsely. Is there a Konoha collapse plan? Speaking of this, Oshimaru-senpai, I still want to cooperate with you. Naruto wiped the scroll and put it away. Cooperation? No, why would you know my plan? Orochimaru's expression changed, and he said in disbelief. It's not important. What's important is that I want to cooperate with Oshimaru-senpai. What Oshimaru-senpai wants is the life of Sarutobi Hiruzen. What I want is to destroy the entire Konoha. We can cooperate. Naruto said. It's interesting, it's really interesting. I really can't imagine how you survived to such a great age in the hands of Sarutobi and Danzo. Orochimaru licked his lips excitedly. He knew very well the character of his former teacher and that collaborator. They would never let go of things beyond their control to be stored in Konoha. Orochimaru is. Namikaze Minato is. White Fang is even Senju and Uchiha. But Naruto, Konoha's most important nine-tails Jinchuriki, can live so much with hatred. He wasn't brainwashed by those two old foxes. Let's not talk about cooperation. Naruto, are you willing to leave here with me? I can help you become stronger. Orochimaru and Snake Eyes looked at Naruto and said, if Oshimaru-senpai is still the former Oshimaru-senpai, it would be fine for me to join, but unfortunately, the current Orochimaru-senpai has drifted away from what I imagined. Naruto smiled and said the cruelest words. As expected, upon hearing these words, Orochimaru's face froze. Eyes are tiny. If Naruto doesn't give a reasonable explanation, he won't give up on this matter today. Is Oshimaru-senpai still the same Orochimaru-senpai who wanted to learn all ninjutsu in the world? I don't know this, and maybe you don't know either. The art of immortality is indeed attractive, but the art of immortality with its powerful side effects is not so beautiful. If I read correctly, Senior Orochimaru's mental strength should be very poor now, right? After all, even someone's random illusion nothing came next. Sharingan is indeed powerful, and the kaleidoscope can indeed make people reach the sky in one step. Maybe it can really help Senior Orochimaru speed up the process of learning ninjutsu, but... Naruto paused. But what? Orochimaru asked impatiently. But Orochimaru-senpai still hasn't grasped the core of ninjutsu. What is ninjutsu? Use gestures to form seals to induce the chakra in the body to condense into jutsu, and what is released is ninjutsu. Why does chakra show different ninjutsu under different seals? Why does chakra have 5 attributes? Why is it manifested in the forms of water, fire, wind, earth, and thunder? Why do chakras of different natures fuse in a certain proportion to form different escape techniques? Can it even be inherited from the blood, becoming the so-called limit of blood succession? Compared to learning all ninjutsu, I think Senior Orochimaru should explore these. Of course, I don't think it's a big deal. Really fundamental. What is chakra? What is the nature of chakra? Why the combination of spiritual energy and cellular energy in the body can generate chakra? Where does it come from? Is it really something we can extract? Is our world really what we think it is? Are myths really just stories? Quote. Orochimaru became more and more excited the more he listened. He felt that Naruto seemed to have opened up a new path for him, which had never happened before. In this world, how many people can be as curious about these things as he is, and how many people can view science as he does? Orochimaru became more and more attracted to Naruto. He felt that Naruto was one of the very few people in the world who could understand him and even discuss science with him. Come with me, Naruto. I believe that with my wisdom and yours, all the problems in this world will be understood and mastered by us. Only we are the truly sober people in the world. Orochimaru said excitedly to Naruto. I reject. Naruto still said bluntly, he has self-knowledge for himself. He is not the kind of person who can calm down and study academics. What he can know is just the passage through the world of Hokage that he read many people in his previous life. However, if possible, I will have more cooperation with Senior Oshimaru in the future. After all, people who discuss science like Senior Oshimaru are too rare in this world. Naruto added, that's it, then I'm looking forward to Naruto-kun's presence. Orochimaru said regretfully, but he also knew that Naruto would not leave with him. Sighing, Orochimaru was about to leave in disappointment. After hearing Naruto's words, although he still coveted Sharingan, he was not as crazy as before. With this time, he wants to explore what the essence of chakra is. Looking at the figure of Orochimaru who was about to leave, Naruto hesitated for a moment and suddenly said, Senior Orochimaru, in fact, the real knowledge is not only ninjutsu and chakra, there are many things in the world that we humans don't know. Why do people fall to the ground after jumping up? Why are wheels round? Why can't things floating on the water float outward with the water? Why does ice not freeze from the bottom of the water, but from the surface of the water? Why is the sun white at noon? Why don't the clouds fall down? There are too many things in this world that we can explore that are different from chakra. It would be a waste to only pursue chakra with the talent of Senior Oshimaru. I sincerely hope that Senior Oshimaru can make this confused world completely awake. Quote. Hearing Naruto's words, Orochimaru was stunned. At first glance, it seems that Naruto's question is like that of a 3-year-old child, but after careful consideration, Orochimaru can discover the truth hidden behind it. Yes, what Naruto said is common sense. But can he explain this common sense? Does he know why? He can't and doesn't know. Yes, there is real truth hidden beneath these well-known things. Compared with truth, what is chakra? That's all, Senior Orochimaru. We will leave first, and we will discuss these issues later. Naruto nodded to Orochimaru, and then walked towards the central tower with Sasuke and Sakura, who were also covered in circles behind him, leaving only Orochimaru thinking here. Why do people fall to the ground after jumping up? Why are wheels round? Why can't things floating on the water float outward with the water? Why does ice not freeze from the bottom of the water, but from the surface of the water? Why is the sun white at noon? Why don't the clouds fall down? Why is this? Orochimaru couldn't help reaching out and scratching his head. Every question has an answer. What is the answer? What is the answer? He wants to solve it. He wants to solve all these problems. But everything comes after the plan. Orochimaru put down his hand, and glanced coldly at Hokage Rock. After I deal with you, I will pursue the truth again. At the same time, 3 figures were rushing in the direction of Orochimaru, but when they arrived, there was no one there. Hateful, Hongdu said viciously. He sensed it, he clearly sensed that familiar breath. Orochimaru, it was definitely him. What purpose does he have here? Chasing from here to the direction of the central tower. Someone must have seen him. Taking a deep breath, Hongdu chased forward in the direction Naruto walked. At the same time, hey, Naruto, do you have an answer to those questions you just asked? Sasuke finally broke free from Naruto's question, and after recovering, he couldn't help asking. Of course there is an answer, but this kind of thing has to be answered by yourself to have a sense of accomplishment, but if you want to know, I can tell you the answer directly. After all, you are not Orochimaru, and it is definitely impossible to find the answer by yourself in this life. Naruto glanced at Sasuke and said lightly. Quote. No need to. Sasuke said with a dark face. He shouldn't have said that. Well, he was despised again. Naruto, who is that Orochimaru? Sakura asked cautiously, and Sasuke was also watching Naruto from the corner of his eye. He was also very curious about this question, especially what he said before could help Naruto become stronger, which made him very excited. Although I don't want to admit it, there is a big gap between him and Naruto in terms of strength. Since that person has the confidence to improve Naruto's strength, it must not be difficult to improve himself, right? The apprentice of the 3rd generation of Hokage, Sarutobi Hiruzane, known as a genius who comes out once every 10 years, he is extremely talented in ninjutsu, and there is a group of the 2nd generation of Hokage Senjige. This is not something that cannot be said, Naruto said casually. Sasuke's eyes lit up when he heard the words, and he began to think about how to let the other party teach him. As for Orochimaru and Konoha, are they enemies? What is a leaf? He is still in Konoha now because he wants to become stronger and take revenge. If being a traitor can make him stronger, he can't wait for it. Oh, speaking of Sasuke, you and Orochimaru have some fate. Naruto seemed to be aware of Sasuke's thoughts. The corners of his mouth were slightly raised, and he said in a playful tone. What fate? Seeing Naruto's eyes, Sasuke couldn't help becoming vigilant. What Naruto said next was definitely not good news, and the banter in his eyes was about to be revealed. Your brother Uchiha Itachi fought against Orochimaru and won, and it was just an illusion. Naruto said with a hint of a smile. He could guess just now that Sasuke was thinking about learning from Orochimaru and then taking revenge, so he specially reported good news to him. As expected, Sasuke's face stiffened immediately, and the thoughts in his heart disappeared instantly. What are you playing? What else are you playing? Learn ass. What is there to learn from the defeated generals? Could it be that I can't take revenge in my life? Sasuke fell into deep doubts. He didn't think much about it before, but now that he thinks about it, that man alone can slaughter the entire Uchiha, and his strength must have reached an unbelievable level. There were many Uchiha powerhouses at that time. Even if it is a sneak attack, it is impossible to solve it easily. Don't think so much. Uchiha Itachi will die, and he will definitely die by your hands. This is his choice, and it is also the choice of fate. Naruto said lightly. What do you mean? Sasuke frowned. Why did he feel that Naruto seemed to know everything, and listening to Naruto, it seemed that no matter how weak his strength was, Uchiha Itachi would die in his hands. How is this possible? Unless he does it on purpose. Wait, on purpose? Sasuke appeared in front of Naruto in an instant, grabbed Naruto's shoulder, and said excitedly. What do you know? What do you mean by what you said just now? Why did that man deliberately die in my hands? Does he have any difficulties? Tell me, snapped. Naruto patted Sasuke's hand away and straightened his collar. Is this how you ask for help? Sasuke gritted his teeth, then took a deep breath, bowed to Naruto, and said sincerely. Please, tell me, Yoshihisa, so what if you know? So what if Uchiha Itachi really has a problem? Did you choose to let him go because of this problem? Naruto said lightly. No matter what the truth of the matter is, he killed your people and your parents after all, he betrayed Uchiha. If you don't kill him, how can those Uchiha's undead be rested in peace? Therefore, those hardships are not important. Your mission to live now is to kill him to avenge your people and your parents, and the purpose of his life now is to be killed by you, so as to make your strength go further. Quote. So, do you understand? Sasuke was silent. Yes, even if that man really has difficulties, so what, can he attack his own clan and his parents if he has difficulties? Can you betray the Uchiha who gave birth to him and raised him if you have difficulties? Can he, a Uchiha survivor, forgive him if he has difficulties? Of course not. Is there anything more important than relatives and clansmen in this world? No matter what the reasons are, this is not an excuse for him to hurt Uchiha. I understand. No matter what reasons the man has, I will never forgive him, and he must die by my hands. Sasuke said solemnly. The aura of the whole person is even more ruthless than before. Yes, that's it, this is Sasuke Uchiha. Seeing Sasuke's current state, Naruto nodded in satisfaction. Itachi Uchiha is a deep red in Hokage. He endured suffering and infamy, just to protect the peace of Konoha and his beloved brother Sasuke. He inherited the true will of fire. In this regard, Naruto admits that he has achieved dedication and sacrifice, sacrificing the interests of the clan for the village, and sacrificing himself for his younger brother. He admires Itachi Uchiha, but admiration does not mean approval, and he even feels very stupid for Itachi Uchiha's behavior. If dedication is valuable, then it is called a hero. Sacrifice without value is equivalent to a fool. Is the sacrifice of the Uchiha clan good for Konoha? Perhaps there are, such as helping Sarutobi, Danzo and other Konoha executives to better control Konoha. What are the disadvantages? As one of the founders of Konoha, the famous Uchiha clan in the ninja world, their demise represents another level of Konoha's strength. Sounds like the downside outweighs the good. No, for Sarutobi and others, the benefits are far greater than the disadvantages. They took away all the heritage of the Uchiha clan, and what was left to Sasuke was just an empty shell. To put it nicely, Uchiha Itachi is the successor of Konoha Fire's will, a tragic hero who was born alone in the dark. To put it badly, Uchiha Itachi is just a guy who was brainwashed by Konoha. What kind of will of fire? This kind of thing is just the creation of the Holy Mother in Senjutsujian. She obviously has the strength to push the ninja world horizontally, but she insists on balancing the strength and distributes ninja beasts to others. Madness. If it weren't for his strength, which village would agree with him? If he were to die, the ninja world would be in chaos. Isn't that the case? Short-lived peace is false after all, and it will not work to resolve conflicts by love. Only unity can create real peace. Who? Naruto suddenly looked at a position behind Sasuke, and suddenly 3 figures jumped out, and the leader was Red Beans. Did you see anyone just now? Hongdu looked around, and after confirming that there was only Naruto's team here, she asked seriously. Saw, Naruto said calmly. Where? Hongdu was overjoyed and asked hurriedly. Do not know. Naruto didn't lie. Orochimaru is no longer within the range of his Kagura mind-eye perception. Of course, even if he is here, he will not tell Hongdu. Is it? Although there was nothing wrong with Naruto's tone, she always felt that something was wrong, so she quickly reached out to check Naruto's arms and neck, but snapped. Naruto slapped off Hongdu's hand. Sorry, I don't like people touching my body. The faint tone keeps irritating Hongdu's heart. I'm not interested in your body, I just want to see if you have a curse mark. If there is nothing else, we will leave first. Naruto didn't seem to see Hongdu's anger, he still said flatly, but before leaving, Naruto reminded again. By the way, Examiner Hongdu, Konoha has a rule that unless there is a special reason, the examiner is not allowed to take action against candidates. I'm going to kill that brat. Hongdu punched the big tree beside him, and with a loud noise, the big tree was split into 2 pieces. Hongdu Examiner, don't do this, you can't do it. Seeing this, the 2 attendant examiners hurriedly said, and at the same time, they couldn't help complaining to Naruto, you said you were fine, why mess with this woman? I don't care, just love whoever you want. Hongdo said angrily, turned around and left directly. The 2 examiners who were his attendants smiled wryly, and hurried up. On the way to the central tower, Naruto saved Xianglin by the way. For this Uzumaki girl, Naruto still has a good impression. On her body, he saw the shadow of Hinata. But compared to Hinata, she has to be braver. Of course, this is not the most important thing. The important thing is that unlike Hinata, Xianglin has nothing to rely on at this time. As for Orochimaru, this guy is just a suitable research object for Orochimaru. Orochimaru has already told her about this, so how can she rely on Orochimaru? Xianglin in the original book is the one who has a good impression of Sasuke after being rescued by Sasuke at this time, and he is loyal. Even if Sasuke abandons her without hesitation, he can easily forgive Sasuke. Even when Sasuke married Sakura in the end, he never loved the second man. Such feelings are what Naruto needs. He needs a subordinate who will not betray him. Yes, just subordinates, not lovers. Now he doesn't have the boring idea of falling in love. After all, love is just a result of a series of movements of hormone chemical molecules in the human brain. Speaking of which, why did I see someone say that I have prostatitis? This is persecution, it must be persecution. Whether it's Hinata or some other woman, whether he's a eunuch or impotent, he's seen 3-dimensional shit like trash in his previous life. Even if he travels to 2-dimensional, it's still hard for him to really fall in love with someone. Before time travel, he could change a 2-dimensional wife in 7 days, but after time travel, what do these women have to do with him? The current Hokage is a real world, it is not carried out according to the so-called plot and the so-called setting. If we look at them from the perspective of the original work, we will inevitably suffer losses. As for why you chose Xianglin as your partner instead of Hinata. The first point is that Hinata is different from Uzumaki Karen. She still has her own bond with Konoha. Naruto doesn't think that he has a higher position in Hinata's heart than her relatives and sister. The second point is that Hinata's character is always a problem. She is far from strong enough and can't help Naruto to complete any tasks. She must undergo a real transformation or change over time. The third point, although I don't want to admit it, may be the reason why the character he replaced is Naruto. In his heart, Hinata is different from other people. If Uzumaki Xianglin betrays him, he can get rid of her without hesitation and without a trace of mercy, but Hinata will inevitably have hesitation in his heart. Of course, these are just his fantasies, and he simply looks at the real Naruto world with the worst attitude. So, are you willing to follow me in the future? As a price, as long as I'm here, I won't let you die. Looking at the Uzumaki Kafos in front of him, Naruto said lightly. Well, accept or reject. Uzumaki Xianglin looked at Naruto's exquisite and handsome face, with an aloof and extraordinary temperament. Sure enough, I still can't refuse, this is too handsome. Besides, he saved me. Woohoo, no, be reserved. Xianglin was tossing and turning, 3 seconds later. No problem, my lord. I want to be more reserved, but I can't, he's so handsome. How can there be such a good-looking person in this world? Woo woo woo. You promised too simply. Sasuke and Sakura, who watched from the beginning to the end, couldn't help but twitched and complained in their hearts. They were going to the central tower before, but Naruto seemed to feel something, and ignored them both and came directly in this direction. What can they do? Of course they followed. As soon as I came here, I saw that the red-haired girl was abandoned by the ninjas of her ninja village, and then she was alone to deal with a beast that ran out of nowhere. Naruto just stayed on the tree and watched the beast chasing people below indifferently. Sasuke and Sakura didn't dare to ask, and they didn't dare to say. Then, when the red-haired girl couldn't hold on anymore, Naruto came. A wave of heroes saved the beauty. The picture is very beautiful. Blonde hair trembled in the breeze, shuriken blades dripped with the blood of beasts. Are you okay? With a magnetic sound, Sasuke and Sakura stared blankly. Is this really Naruto? This is too flirtatious, right? However, Naruto seemed to have completed some mission later, and the whole person returned to his previous indifference. First, he expressed his desire to let the other party be his partner, and then he said coldly that if the other party dared to betray him, he would kill the other party without hesitation. Are you looking for a partner? You are recruiting. Definitely looking for a subordinate. Sasuke and Sakura didn't think that the other party would agree at all. Just kidding, the other party is a ninja from Kusanagi village. I would like to express my gratitude to you. How could it be possible to betray the village and become your partner? But she agreed. Another nympho. I probably understand. Sasuke glanced at Sakura, then at Kaorin, and nodded. The way that woman looked at Naruto, he was familiar. It's fine if you agree. Naruto smiled, then took the dark badge from his neck, and touched Uzumaki's eyebrows. A black flower-shaped pattern flashed on Uzumaki's eyebrows. As another secret treasure of Yashintaichi ruling the whole world, in addition to helping the Black Yagumin evolve, the dark emblem also has the functions of enslaving, contracting, transforming, absorbing, etc. What Naruto used just now is the function of the contract. Under this contract, as long as Naruto is willing, he can use the dark energy stored in the dark badge to make her stronger. It was originally used to contract Digimon, but it is also feasible to contract people. Putting away the dark badge, Naruto said to Uzumaki Kafos, "Next, you can just quit. You can directly talk to Orochimaru about my affairs, and he will not embarrass you. Until the plan ends, you stay in Orochimaruna." "Ah, I can't stay with you, my lord." When Uzumaki Karen heard this, he lost his energy in an instant, and didn't even care why Naruto knew about Orochimaru. Snapped. Naruto patted Uzumaki Karen on the head. "Follow orders." "Yes, my lord." Even though he didn't want to, Xianglin withdrew his emotions and said. On the way to the central tower, the atmosphere among the three was very quiet. Naruto still had an indifferent expression on his face, with a feeling that everything was under control. Sasuke walked forward with his head down, occasionally staring at Naruto, his eyes flickering, as if he was determined to do something. Sakura hesitated. She wanted to ask something but she didn't dare to say it. She is not a fool. Naruto has never concealed her purpose during the trip to the country of Nami in this Chunin exam. He wants to destroy Konoha. The previous one called Orochimaru said that Naruto was the son of the fourth Hokage, but if Naruto was really the son of the fourth Hokage, why didn't they know? Konoha Maru, the grandson of the third Hokage, is well known in Konoha. There is no reason that the fourth Hokage has a child to hide. Thinking about it carefully, the entire Konoha's attitude towards Naruto is also full of hatred, the incarnation of the fox, monsters and so on. The fourth Hokage seems to have died in the hands of the fox. If there is no secret in this, Sakura will definitely not believe it, but suspect the village. The will of fire in her heart does not allow her to do this. So, what to do? Sakura shook her head. She is just a ninja. The sky is falling and there is a tall man supporting her. What Naruto wants to do has nothing to do with her, as long as the ninja obeys the task. Thinking about something is not something a ninja should do. With this thought in mind, Sakura's heart slowly calmed down. This time, there were no accidents. The three of them went all the way unimpeded, and reached the finish line very smoothly. Sakura took out the Heaven and Earth scroll and handed it to Konoha ninja who was working. After the registration was completed, they entered the examinee lounge. At this time, several teams had already gathered inside, and there was no way to do it. After all, the matter of the whirlpool fragrant phosphorus took a lot of time, but it was worth it. The loyalty of a genius who can use Kong to block the Uzumaki clan for Naruto's paltry exam time is simply too profitable, isn't it? Naruto, Sasuke and Sakura randomly found a seat and sat down. There is still a lot of time before the end of the exam, so they can take a good rest. With the passage of time, the 8th class, the 10th class, the 5th class, Yin Ren, Yao Shido and others have all completed the task. Soon, the exam was over, the number of existing teams was reduced by half, there were only 9 groups left. Accompanied by the sound of coughing, the examiner, Moonlight Gale, slowly walked over from not far away. Looking at the few candidates left, Moonlight Hayate had some headaches. In fact, these people are really not too many, but the original decision cannot be changed. It seems that some people are destined not to become Chunin this time. Moonlight Gale shook his head secretly, and after a little organizing what he wanted to say, he said to the crowd. Hello candidates, my name is Moonlight Hayate, and I will be the chief examiner of your upcoming Chunin exam qualifiers. That's right, it's the qualifiers, not the official competition. There are still too many of you left, so you must get rid of some more. Of course, although it is a qualifier, there will inevitably be casualties. If any of you don't want to continue participating in the competition, you can withdraw now, it will not be so easy to withdraw later. Moonlight Hayate couldn't help coughing twice as he said that. Naruto couldn't bear to look at that weak look. No wonder so many people in the previous life wanted to take care of Mao Yuxian, you are still delaying others after you are like this. I quit, I quit, I quit too. One after another, many ninjas, including Yao Shido, stood up. Some of them passed by luck. After experiencing death, they had some concerns about the Chunin exam. After the promotion, reapply for the exam. Ahem, there are a lot of people. Forget it. Candidates who are about to withdraw can register and leave. Moonlight Gale shook his hand, and didn't care about those who quit. The next qualifiers will start soon. The first match, Sasuke Uchiha vs. Red Copper Armor. Sasuke didn't expect that he would be the first one, but he didn't care about it. Among the same age, except for Naruto, I am invincible. You are Sasuke Uchiha, right? The chief student of this class. I'll tell you to admit defeat. For geniuses like you, I'm your nemesis. The Red Copper Armor looked at Sasuke with a stern face, and said unhappily. HMPH, don't be ashamed to speak out. Under these eyes, I have already seen you through. Uchiha Sasuke pointed to his eyes, and the Red Guyu put a different kind of pressure on the Red Copper Armor. Come on, let's try it. Red Copper Armor said. Then, the game begins. Moonlight Gale didn't respond to the words of the two, and announced directly. The strength of the Red Copper Armor is not so amazing, and it only relies on being able to absorb the special ability of the opponent's chakra through physical contact. As long as the precautions are taken properly, it is relatively easy to defeat him with Sasuke's strength, especially Sasuke is in perfect condition without the curse mark. Sure enough, within a few minutes, the Red Copper Armor was beaten to the ground by Sasuke. Sasuke raised his head proudly, not enough to turn off the fire the moment he saw Naruto. If he hadn't seen Naruto's strength, it would be fine, but now that he has seen Naruto, how can he be complacent about his own strength? Woolen cloth. Shaking his head, Sasuke left the venue in disappointment. Although Moonlight Hayate was puzzled, he still announced that Sasuke Uchiha had won. After that, in the second round, Nara Shikamaru vs. Kim. Nara Shikamaru wins. In the third round, Zat confronts the oily girl Shino. Oil girl Shino wins. At last. Next, Uzumaki Naruto will face Inuzuka Kiba. After hearing his name, Naruto stood up calmly and walked to his place on the field. Inuzuka came to the battlefield with an excited expression. Naruto, you are a cold guy, just like Sasuke. I have long wanted to teach you a lesson, but I didn't have a chance at the ninja school. Now, you just accept your fate and let me teach you a lesson, ha ha ha. Before Moonlight Hayate could speak, Inuzuka, who came to the field, couldn't help but chatter. Naruto still had a flat look, and had no intention of speaking at all. Mama, since you don't talk, forget it, you really think you are very good if you don't know like this, and you don't know how you graduated, obviously you can't even use the clone technique. Probably through the back door of 3 generations of adults, right? Otherwise, you should be repeating a grade at ninja school, ha 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 ha, don't you think so, Akamaru? Quote. The more Inuzuka said, the more addicted he became, and he patted Chia on the head and pointed at Naruto. Wong wong wong, ha ha ha, you agree, don't you? I knew it. It's also a good thing, Naruto, you don't have parents, otherwise, based on your performance in the ninja school, they would definitely not want to recognize you, ha ha ha. Naruto frowned, and for the first time really set his sights on Inuzuka. Yeah, if this guy's purpose was to mobilize other anger, then Naruto admitted that he succeeded. You have almost heard it, can we start? Naruto glanced at Moonlight Gale, and said indifferently. Cough cough cough, the game begins. Moonlight Gale wiped the cold sweat that came from his face from nowhere, and it was really too weak, the sweat came out unconsciously. Boom. At the moment when Moonlight Gale's words fell, a kunai with thunder and lightning shuttled through the air with incomparable speed. Call out. At some point, Naruto's figure also disappeared in place, and at the moment when everyone was puzzled, there was a loud noise from where Inuzuka Fang was. Several cracks like spider webs appeared on the ground. Take a closer look. In the center of the crack, Naruto's right hand is pressing on Inuzuka's head. Boom. Another bang. Boom. 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 Unknowingly, the original cracks began to deepen continuously, and a hollow was almost formed on the hard ground, and the tooth in Naruto's hand had already fainted from the non-stop impact. I'm sorry, I didn't control the strength well, but it's lucky that the person is not dead yet. Naruto stood up and said to Moonlight Gale. Hearing this, Moonlight Gale, who had been dazed for a long time, came back to his senses, and couldn't help showing a wry smile at Naruto's words. It is true that the person is not dead, but it is only a few breaths away, right? Moreover, with the bombardment just now, you should be stupid if your head is not broken, you won't become a vegetable, right? It's a bit troublesome, the Inuzuka clan is also a big family in Konoha. Moonlight Hayate rubbed his head, and was about to ask the medical staff to take Inuzuka down for treatment, when suddenly. Wong wong wong. As if sensing the danger of his master, Akamaru kept yelling at Naruto. Ah, I forgot about you. The corners of Naruto's mouth curled up slightly, and he walked in front of Akamaru without haste. If you are screaming, I will kill you. With a trace of killing intent in the faint voice, Akamaru was so frightened that he fell to the ground, not daring to move. Good. Naruto touched Akamaru's head and said lightly. Can you announce the end? Examiner. Ah, oh. Good, the game is over, Naruto Uzumaki, win. That bitterness is somewhat familiar. Orochimaru, disguised as Otonin Murakami Ninja, frowned. He just noticed that Naruto used kunai first, and then disappeared in place, and there was no seal. If this kind of ninjutsu is not deliberately disguised, it should be Flying Thunder God as undoubtedly. Naruto Uzumaki. No, it should be Naruto Uzumaki. That's right. Namikaze Minato's son knows his father's most representative ninjutsu, what's so strange about it? Another golden flash. Interesting, really interesting. Orochimaru showed a smile, and recalled in his mind a golden figure with a smile like the sun that he had never forgotten even after many years. He took the position of Hokage from himself back then. But I don't have much interest in becoming Hokage. In addition to Orochimaru, many people at the scene recognized this famous ninjutsu in the ninja world. It was used by Naruto just now. Impossible, how is it possible, where did Naruto learn it from? How could it be, how could Naruto, fly Thunder God? Kakashi opened his eyes wide and said incredulously. But as a disciple of the fourth generation of Naruto, he will never admit to the teacher's ninjutsu. This is definitely Flying Thor. In this way, the previous survival exercise was not an illusion. Naruto did use Flying Thunder God in an instant and took away the bell. Call. Too deep. Naruto hides too deep. Even Kakashi doubted whether the Naruto in front of him was the Naruto he knew well. It was too strange, as if he had never known him before. This Naruto, who has been under surveillance for more than 100% of his time since he was a child, actually holds many secrets that they don't know. The same is true of the previous Spiral Shuriken, Flying Thunder God, and Strange Strokes. The only thing they knew was Naruto's voluntary physical skills. Ha ha, how ironic. Kakashi smiled wryly. He suddenly felt that he was such a failure. His father died, his best friend Obito died, Lin died, his teacher died, and his wife died. Even Naruto, the only son of the teacher, and his wife never trusted him. Is he trustworthy? Well, it's really not worth it. Let's not say that he never took care of Naruto. Moreover, if Naruto told him any secret, he would submit this secret to the desk in Hokage's office immediately. Shaking his head, Kakashi took a deep breath. Although he is still young, he knows that the next era is no longer the era of a person who should have died long ago. Next, the time belongs to him. Kakashi set his eyes on Naruto. But Kakashi touched his Sharingan hidden under the mask. Chidori and Rachel should also pass it on. Before you know it, all the battles have come to an end. Candidates for the third exam have been confirmed. They are the following 10 people: Uchiha Sasuke, Yumi Shino, Hinata, Temari, Nara Shikamaru, Uzumaki Naruto, Hinata Neji, Gaara, Toss, Kankuro. The results of the draw have not changed much. Game 1. Naruto Uzumaki vs Neji Hinata. The second game, Uchiha Sasuke vs Gaara. Game 3. Shino Ayurome vs Kankuro. Game 4. Temari vs Nara Shikamaru. Fifth game, Hinata vs Toss. The official match of the third test will start in a month, so after the draw of opponents, Naruto left the test site alone. He could feel Sarutobi Hiruzen's complex emotions towards him: doubt, guilt, disbelief, and even a trace of undisguised killing intent. That's right, Sarutobi Hiruzen wanted to kill him. The strongest Hokage in history who thinks he is great and makes the people happy, Sarutobi Hiruzen, has the intention to kill Naruto. Why? Uzumaki Naruto has already escaped his control. A Uzumaki Naruto who has been able to hide under the surveillance of him and Danzo and has the power of a shadow, can completely pose a huge threat to Konoha. Kyuubi's Jinchuriki can be changed again, but for Konoha's safety, Uzumaki Naruto must die. Unless he becomes what they want again, the Nine-Tails Jinchuriki can be controlled by them. Ha ha, Naruto sneered, what a great 3 Hokage. The left sentence is for Konoha, and the other sentence is for Konoha. Is Konoha in your hand? They're all about to rot into shit. Konoha from the first generation of Naruto Senju Hashirama, the well-deserved overlord of the ninja world. One person is enough to fight against the entire ninja world. Konoha, the second generation of Naruto Sensho, is still the #1 ninja village in the ninja world, who is not afraid of fighting and dares to fight. The Konoha of the 4th Hokage Namikaze Minato, Flying Raijin, has attracted the fear of countless ninjas. He loves his name like a son, knows people, and is good at responsibility. If it weren't for the Battle of Nine Tails, I believe he can manage Konoha very well these years. And he Sarutobi Hiruzen. First, it was designed to exterminate the Thousand Hands clan. Only Senju Tsunade is left alone. Konoha's fighting power dropped by 1 level. Danzo's behavior has never been stopped, resulting in Konoha Baga's suicide, Uchiha's extermination of the clan, Orochimaru's rebellion against the village, Jiraiya's departure, countless civilians in the Battle of Nine Tails, and the 4th generation of Hokage Namikaze Minato and his wife Uzumaki Kushina death. As a result, Konoha's combat effectiveness has declined sharply, and the ninja village is useless. Yes, for Konoha. For the sake of Konoha's perishment, you really have worked so hard. But your wish has come true, and Konoha will be destroyed by me soon. Walking, suddenly, Naruto saw a man with white hair who looked like a toad, peeking in from a hidden place in the grass, still remembering something in his hand. Tisk tisk tisk, I haven't come to Konoha for so long, and it turns out a new batch of newcomers, not bad. This range, woohoo, it's wonderful, yes, that's it, wow ha ha ha. Boom, thump, ah, who kicked me? Jilai also stood up with an angry face, touched the butt that was kicked, and said unhappily. But, sorry, do you believe me when I said I didn't mean it? Looking at the countless scenes with holy light in the bathing place, Zilai also pinched his nose and said in embarrassment. Ah, get out, someone is peeping. How dare you spy on my old lady? Go to hell. In an instant, countless bathtubs, soap, and towels were thrown on Jiraiya's body non-stop. Ah, Jilai also yelled twice symbolically, and then slipped out of the many sundries with ease. For him, being caught peeping was just a common occurrence, and he didn't have any cowardice when he was a child. Yeah, it's really enthusiastic. After Jiraiya confirmed that he was safe, he wiped off the cold sweat that did not exist on his face and said, "Clap clap, huh, where did the applause come from?" Jiraiya looked over suspiciously. It was a blond boy wearing a blue and white robe, but this familiar look. Watergate, he also said in shock. But after calming down, he shook his head. He was very sure that Minato was dead, and besides other things, the age of the person in front of him was different from Minato. Should he be a younger version of Minato? "Are you Naruto?" With a doubtful tone, Zillai also said. "Ah." Naruto nodded. He didn't have any other reasons for coming here, he just wanted to take a look at the hero Jiraiya in Hokage. "Yulong Angelica see, the sea does not welcome me." However, Naruto didn't have any good feelings for him, and he didn't have any bad feelings. As the teacher of Namikaze Minato, after knowing that his disciple died, he was still traveling in the ninja world, and he never went back to Konoha to visit him. How is my nephew doing even once? From the original book, he should know how bad Naruto's life is, but even so, he still hasn't come back. Of course, visiting is a matter of affection, not seeing as a duty. So Naruto currently has no liking or dislike for him. After becoming Naruto, it is impossible for him to treat Jiraiya with the attitude of his previous life, right? Naruto. A trace of guilt and nostalgia flashed in Jiraiya's eyes. Speaking of which, he was the one who gave the name. The world has changed, and who would have thought that, looking back, the high-spirited disciple of the fourth generation of Hokage would die on the day of his son's birth. If, at that time, I was there, would the ending change? What are you thinking? Naruto's indifferent voice interrupted Jiraiya's thinking, and Jiraiya suppressed his emotions, forced a smile and said to Naruto, "It's nothing, but where did you come from? When you were found peeping, I followed you all the time." Naruto said lightly, "Oh, so wait, you found me peeping. Ah bah, that's called collecting materials. Your family calls peeping a material. Anyway, it's not voyeurism. Can an artist's work be called voyeurism?" Ji-Lai also refused to admit it anyway, and it was embarrassing to say it. He never imagined that meeting his nephew for the first time would be like this. It was completely different from what he imagined. He actually discovered my peeping. Oh no, it was the experience of collecting materials. Naruto didn't say anything more. He didn't want to have a long time to talk about this matter with Jiraiya. Whether it's peeping or collecting materials, it has nothing to do with him. Okay, you have the final say, but you have to hide it for me. In exchange, I will teach you a powerful ninjutsu later, so that you can shine in the Chunin exam. By the way, Konoha is holding the Chunin exam now, right? Quote. Zillai also scratched his head. I'm not interested in your ninjutsu. I came here just because of my mood. Now that my mood is gone, I should go back. Naruto turned around and was about to leave. Except for Muji ninjutsu, there were only some forbidden techniques that interested him, such as Bamindunjia, dirty reincarnation, etc. Jiraiya doesn't seem to have any ninjutsu that he wants. He is planning to go to Ryuji Cave for senjutsu, not because it is powerful there, but simply because he doesn't like toads and slugs. If this is the case, Jiraiya will be useless to him. Hey, hello, do you know who I am? I am the famous Taoist Shansu, the Toad Elf of Miaomu Mountain, known as the Immortal Toad. My teachings are dreamed by many people. You should think about it. After passing this village, this store is gone. Jilai also saw that Naruto was really planning to leave, so he hurried up to him and said seriously. Oh, I know. Naruto made a perfunctory sound, then brushed past Jiraiya. Ah, I'm angry. I'll show you how powerful I am today. Jilai also pretended to be angry and said something, then rubbed a blue ball in his hand, pointed at it and said to Naruto. Have you seen this guy? This is one of the best ninjutsu of the fourth Hokage, Muji ninjutsu spiral ball. How about it, do you want to learn it? Ha ha ha, as long as you honestly call him Toad Immortal, I will teach you. Come, read to me, Fairy Toad. Naruto was a little speechless in his heart. He stretched out his right hand with the palm facing up. The blue chakra hand was spinning, and a spiral pill that was far clearer and purer than Jiraiya appeared in his hand. Nani, where did you learn that? Jiraiya's eyes widened, and he didn't dare to believe it. It took him a long time to learn this ninjutsu. Didn't that old Sarutobi tell you anything? He should have told you part of it, right? Don't pretend too much. Naruto spread the spiral pills and said lightly. How can you call him old Sarutobi? You should call him Sandai-sama. Zilai also frowned, and said somewhat seriously. It seems that I really didn't tell you anything. Ma, yes, as long as I trick you back, what else is there to say? Naruto shrugged. What are you talking about, Naruto? By the way, you haven't answered me how you know the spiral pill. Who taught you? Is it Kakashi? Or who? Jirai was also at a loss. Although he was a little angry at Naruto's disrespect for the third generation, it was not difficult to hear his disdain for Sarutobi-sensei from Naruto's words. What happened between them? It has nothing to do with you, Mr. Jiraiya, and don't forget, this is the first meeting between the two of us. To me, you are just a stranger, so, as a stranger, don't you think it's a bit too much? Where did I learn my ninjutsu and what does it have to do with you? Naruto put his hands in his pockets and said calmly. Jirai was also silent. He wanted to say something, but what Naruto said was right. They were just strangers meeting for the first time. As a stranger, what right did he have to meddle in each other's affairs? Did you tell Naruto that I was his teacher? Don't be kidding. Let's not say whether he believes it or not. Even if he believes it, so what? What kind of life Naruto lived, he didn't know. He was just pretending to be stupid. Even after seeing so much darkness in Konoha, he still believed in Konoha. Trust Naruto to get what he deserves. Chapter 51. But hearing Naruto's tone, it seems that Konoha has played off. This is a bit difficult to do. Cut. Naruto shrugged and started heading back towards his home. Hey, boy, what do you think of Konoha? After Naruto walked a few steps, Jiraiya asked hesitantly. Konoha, really speechless, why do you keep asking such questions? Kakashi-sensei is the same, Sarutobi Hiruzen is too, and you are too. How can you answer such a boring question? I don't understand what is going on in your heart. What are you thinking, pretending to be confused? Naruto sneered. How did Konoha treat him? Which one of them didn't know? What's your question? No, it should be said, where do you have the face to ask this question? Are you still holding out your last hope? Really childish. I understand. Zilai also gave a wry smile and said. Yoshihisa. Naruto's figure has gradually disappeared before Jiraiya's eyes. Hateful. Zilai also punched the big tree beside him. His face was full of gloom. Whose responsibility? Who is responsible for Naruto becoming like this? Is it Naruto? Is he wrong? No, he was not wrong. He was just resisting against Konoha. He should have been happy. He should have been worshipped by the entire Konoha. He should enjoy the treatment of the son of a hero and be admired. But what has he been through? Concealing his identity, living in Konoha like an orphan, and being treated like a monster by the villagers, no friends, no relatives, no dignity, nothing, nothing. All he has is endless loneliness and despair. And this has also resulted in his indifferent personality and wisdom far beyond ordinary people. Jiraiya bowed his head and walked towards Hokage's office. He wanted to know everything, what kind of life Naruto had lived these years, and what Konoha thought of Naruto. And Kakashi, as a disciple of Namikaze Minato, has he ever taken care of and cared about Naruto? He wants to know who is causing Naruto's current character. At home, what's the difference between Ha and anime? That's all. Naruto put his hands on his head and said, if Konoha is in trouble, Jiraiya will definitely not do anything to save him, so there will be one more enemy in the future, but it's okay. Although he has the power of Super Shadow in the fairy mode, he has no wood escape. Second, without a Sasuke, there is no ability to stop a large-scale attack. Therefore, Konoha will still not be spared, and it is impossible for me to show mercy just because he came. Quote. As he said before, Jiraiya is just a stranger to him. It's fine if he stops in time. If he has to stop Naruto, he will kill without hesitation. Didn't Sensho Zujian say a word? No matter whoever harms the village, even if it is my friend, brother, or even a child, I can kill it. Naruto thinks the same way now. No matter who dares to stop him from destroying Konoha, even his friends, brothers, and even children, he can kill. Although he has no friends, no brothers and no children. Ha ha ha. Smiling, Naruto rubbed his head, took out the dark badge from his collar, and the black data flowed out from it, slowly turning into a black Agumon. Naruto, is the exam over? Black Yagumon tilted its head, blinked its big green eyes and said. Well, it's over, and I'll ask you to train with me in the next month, Black Yaguman. Naruto showed a slight smile, patted Kuroyaguman's head and said. It's a shame to say that he obviously regards Black Yaguman as a partner, but he finds that he really seems to have feelings for Black Yaguman's head, and he wants to touch it every chance he gets, just like a pet. Even if the hand feel is not soft and smooth, but also has a hint of roughness, but that kind of happiness cannot be expressed in words, just like the feeling of a dream come true. But fortunately, Black Yaguman didn't dislike Naruto's movements, and even enjoyed it a little. This made Naruto heave a sigh of relief. Train together, Naruto. Black Yaguman's head rubbed against Naruto's hand twice. 3 nights before the official Chunin exam. The route. I didn't expect Danzo to dare to send someone over. Have you forgotten the men I killed before? The corner of Naruto's mouth curled up slightly, and he said indifferently. You'd better give me a good explanation, otherwise, just stay here. Master Danzo invites you to go to the routes. A black-clothed ninja with a cat face mask appeared in front of Naruto and said respectfully. Let me go to the route. Naruto was a little surprised, but then he said with some disdain in his heart, do you think I can't do anything with him because of Izanagi? Or do you want to use other gods to modify my memory? What will happen to him if I don't go? The root ninja was a little hesitant, and he didn't know what Danzo-sama would do. The order Danzo gave him was to find ways to invite Uzumaki Naruto to the route. Lead the way, I also want to see how he will deal with me. Naruto stood up and said indifferently to the masked ninja. Yes, the masked ninja heaved a sigh of relief. No matter what, the mission was successful, otherwise he really didn't know how to explain to Lord Danzo, but the result would definitely not be better than death. Please follow me, the masked ninja said and walked towards the root organization base. Naruto followed behind unhurriedly, with inexplicable emotions and a trace of killing intent hidden deep in his eyes. If there is a chance, even with Izanagi, he will kill Danzo. This way please. In just a while, the two arrived at their destination, and a hexagonal passage was slowly opening. After opening, there are dark stairs inside. As the stairs go down, an underground world comes into Naruto's eyes. It's really a big deal. I really didn't expect the roots to be so brilliant. It's amazing, Danzo. Naruto glanced at the rough decoration at the root, and it had nothing to do with the darkness and dampness at all. Welcome to my world, Uzumaki Naruto. With his back to Naruto, Danzo said in a noble tone. And the root ninja who brought Naruto here also retreated, leaving only Naruto and Danzo in place. Your world, I remember this is Konoha's territory, right? Did he agree with the 3rd generation? Naruto curled his lips and said mockingly. Sarutobi is old, he is no longer suitable for the position of Hokage, and I will soon replace him as the new Hokage. Danzo was not angry either, and still spoke in that lofty tone, as if he was doing something great. Oshimaru's Konoha collapse plan, Naruto said playfully. How do you know? Danzo's face was incredible. This plan should only be known to Orochimaru and him. Why would Naruto know about it? Could it be Orochimaru? Oh, it's really the plan of the two of you. Looking at Danzo's reaction, Naruto probably knew that his guess was correct. Orochimaru's Konoha collapse plan is actually not aimed at Konoha at all, but at the 3rd Hokage. The 4th Kazekage Rasa may have had an agreement with Orochimaru to let Orochimaru lead the ninjas of Sand Ninja Village to participate in the Zongnin take the exam, complete the Konoha collapse plan, and prepare to take the opportunity to attack Konoha Ninja Village after the death of the 3rd Hokage. But what he didn't expect was that in order to prevent future troubles, Orochimaru killed him directly. It was very embarrassing. And if Orochimaru's Konoha collapse plan is successful, Sarutobi Hiruzen, the 3rd generation of Hokage, will naturally sit at the end, and who will take the position of Hokage at that time. Naturally, he was in possession. Orochimaru took revenge, Danzo became Hokage, and neither of them lost money. This should have been a seamless plan, but it is a pity that Danzo didn't expect Zurai to come back. Although he is a disciple of 3 generations, his seniority is not as good as Danzo, but in other respects, after the explosion of Danzo, Zurai also returned later. Recommend Tsunade. As the first granddaughter of Tsunade, she is more rooted and convincing, and Jiraiya also tried her best to assist, and Tsunade successfully suppressed Danzo's influence. Tisk tisk tisk, although I'm not ashamed of your behavior, but I have to admire that you can do anything for Hokage. Naruto slammed his mouth twice. He is worthy of being a disciple of Shinshobajian, an outsider who is an outsider, but an expert in civil war. In order to achieve his goal, he will use any means. What do you know, the old man is all for Konoha. Danzo snorted coldly. With his resourcefulness, he naturally knew what Naruto was referring to. It was nothing more than the fact that he had teamed up with ninjas from other villages to kill Konoha ninjas these years, but he didn't think he was wrong. Sarutobi is Hokage. He must stand in front of the villagers with the most positive and powerful image, but this world has two sides. Where there is light, there will be shadows, and there are Hokages like Sarutobi who guard the wood from the front. There must be an organization like our root that sacrifices secretly. Only in this way can Konoha maintain a delicate balance, and peace can last forever. So we are the roots that support Konoha, the big tree of the sky. Only with our efforts, Konoha, this big tree will grow and flourish. We are secretly guarding the shadow of Konoha. Danzo said with a holy face. Papa, it's so powerful, I believe everything I say. Naruto couldn't help being surprised by Danzo's brazenness. No, it shouldn't be described as brazen. He should have completely hypnotized himself, really thinking that everything he did was for Konoha. My heart and my deeds are as clear as a mirror, and everything I do is righteous. Things that even a gentleman may not be able to do, but Danzang has done it. It is rare for a villain to do what he does. To be honest, Danzo, if I didn't replace Uzumaki Naruto, although I would still kill you, I would definitely let you and even help you sit in the position of Hokage first, because if you become Hokage, it means Konoha's other slightly better ninjas are basically dead. At that time, it will be easy to choose whether to annex Konoha or destroy Konoha, but maybe Naruto's belief in blackening is too strong, so I replace the original body. Quote. Naruto was playing with a small black ball in his hand, and said without haste. What do you mean? Danzo frowned. He didn't quite understand Naruto's words. What is the blackening of belief? And what does it mean to replace the original body? Could it be that he is not Naruto? Inexplicably, a sense of tension lingered in Danzo's heart. He touched his right eye and left arm subconsciously, thinking of his whole cards. He couldn't help but breathe a sigh of relief, and his nervousness eased a lot. However, it's better for me to act first. This person still has the Flying Thunder God, so he must do it as fast as possible. After Danzo made up his mind, he slowly released the bandage on his right eye. Oh, are you going to use other gods? System, is there any problem? Naruto had no intention of stopping Danzo's actions. He crossed his arms and looked at Danzo indifferently. Ding, host, please don't insult this system. Pardon the system, he is a piece of trash in the eyes of this system. The system seemed to be insulted by Naruto, and the mechanical sound revealed a complaint. Then it's up to you to perform, don't betray my trust. Naruto shrugged. I have to say, Uzumaki Naruto, you gave me a big surprise. Although I was interested in you originally, it was only because of the 9 tails stored in your body. You are nothing in my eyes without ninjutsu talent, it's not worth it. So after Sarutobi warned me, I didn't bother to touch you. But who would have thought that you have been hiding for so many years? Except for physical skills, you have not exposed at all, not only him Sarutobi Hiruzen, but you have even concealed it from me. With such a heart, if you really growing up, even I am extremely afraid. Of course, now that you have Kage level strength, with Flying Thunder God and that S level Muji ninjutsu, I may not be your opponent, but it's a pity. From now on, you are mine. Quote. Danzo finally revealed his right eye, a kaleidoscopic Sharingan with a quadrilateral pattern. Go. With Danzo's order, the root ninja hidden in the dark appeared instantly and arranged in a complex shape. Then, Naruto and Danzo were wrapped in a black and white blurred space. This is. Naruto raised his eyebrows, a little interesting, he had never seen this seal before. Didn't you think that this is a sealing technique that can invalidate your Flying Thunder God, and it can distort space to a certain extent, although it can only last for a short time, it is enough. After today, you will become the strongest tool in my hands, and also the most powerful weapon for me to become Hokage, ha 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 ha. Quote. Danzo laughed proudly. You didn't create this ninjutsu, did you? If you can create this ninjutsu, it's impossible to learn how to fly Thunder God. it seems that it was picked up by the Uzumaki clan. Forget it, I have no interest in this. But there is one thing I want to say, have you seen my full strength? Danzo. Quote. Naruto stood alone indifferently, with a relaxed tone, and at the same time said to the system in his heart. His tone reminds me of Urzuzi, the system. When the time comes, you can take the initiative to defend the other gods in Danzang. I want to kill him a few lives first. Ding, the system knows. While speaking, a powerful chakra erupted from Naruto's body. At the same time, a strange scarlet chakra with a violent aura surrounded Naruto, and then formed a dark red chakra. A tailed beast coat that symbolizes ominous and evil. 5 nine-tailed chakra tails slowly appeared behind Naruto, swaying constantly. The breath of tyranny, evil, and hatred swept Danzo. I didn't expect you to be able to use 9 tails chakra proficiently. It's incredible. Danzo also said in amazement, and it seemed easy to see Naruto's expression, but Danzo always felt something was wrong. The 9 tails model in front of him seemed different from what he had seen before. However, the stronger you reveal your strength, the greater the chance that I will become Hokage in the future. Be obedient and be my tool. Although Danzo felt that the aura displayed by Setsuna made him extremely jealous, but when he thought of his pupil skills, Bitenjin and Izanagi, he had nothing to worry about. Even if Naruto can kill him once, 3 times, 5 times or even 10 times, but as long as he succeeds in defeating the gods, Naruto will become his subordinate. Your biggest mistake was creating this useless seal. After Naruto said lightly, his figure flickered, and he disappeared in place immediately. Boom, boom, boom. Danzo didn't even have time to react and was thrown into the air by Naruto to attack. Too fast. Under the boost of the 9 tails chakra, even if the right eye is equipped with a kaleidoscope, Danzo cannot capture Naruto's movements. Instead, with every bombardment of Naruto, his bones and internal organs will be broken, and he can't die. Die again. Izanagi was used by him again and again, resurrected, but was killed by Naruto again and again. 9-tailed, elbow to heart. Naruto let out a sigh, and a huge chakra in the shape of 9 tails, accompanied by Naruto's attack, hit Danzo's chest fiercely, and with a roar, Danzo flew out. I'm really lacking in attack methods, and compared to ninjutsu and talismans, I'm still more suitable for fighting. If only I could get the national art in Dragon Snake Romance. Naruto shook his hand and said with some distress. Forget it, let's learn the 8-door Dunjia some other day. With the dog charm, I can't die even if I open the 8-door, and there are not many opponents in this world who are worthy of my opening the 8-door. This kind of taijutsu, how can something like taijutsu be so powerful? Also, what about your ninjutsu? Why don't you use ninjutsu? Danzo's eyes were blank and he said in disbelief that this was completely different from his plan. In his imagination, he should be in charge of the situation. First, Uzumaki Naruto fought against him, barely killed him with all his strength, and then his resurrection of Izanagi caused Uzumaki Naruto to panic and fear. When people are nervous, it is easy to expose their shortcomings, and he will take the opportunity when the time comes, seize the opportunity to use other gods and modify Naruto's memory. But, why is Uzumaki Naruto so strong that he can't bear it just by using physical skills? It's fine for him to dodge with a single blow, but if he can't dodge, he will die. Sharingan can't see this guy's movements at all, he can't even aim, and other gods can't start at all. Hateful. Danzo gritted his teeth and shouted loudly. Everyone will release the seal, and all staff will prepare ninjutsu to attack as soon as the seal is released. But Danzo-sama, you. The roots outside looked at each other after hearing Danzo's words. A more imposing root officer hesitated for a moment and asked worriedly, but was interrupted by Danzo before he finished speaking. Don't talk nonsense, this is an order. Yes. In the blink of an eye, as the sound fell, the root of the sealed chakra was put away, and the rest of the people began to seal, ready to release their most powerful ninjutsu. Water escape water dragon ball technique. 2 done earth flow cut. Water escape breaking the torrent. Fire escape great fire dragon art. Facing the rushing ninjutsu, Naruto crossed his arms and did not dodge or dodge, allowing these ninjutsu to attack him. Under the protection of the tail beast coat, these ninjutsu did not cause any harm to Naruto. If you observe carefully, Naruto's clothes are intact. How is this possible? All the ninjas present, including Danzo, were shocked. Among so many ninjutsu, there is no shortage of A-level ninjutsu. How can you use it against Naruto? Is it to me? Naruto shrugged. A huge shuriken was condensed in Naruto's hands, spinning and screaming continuously, making piercing sounds. Boom! Ah 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 ah! Accompanied by several screams, the root ninjas were hit by Naruto's ninjutsu, lying on the ground and groaning in pain. Puff! 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 The blue thunder swept across the area with sharp kunai, and Naruto also turned into a god of death, constantly reaping their lives among the crowd. Don't worry, Danzo, it will be yours soon. Hearing this voice, Danzo couldn't help feeling a little chill behind him. Seeing the subordinates trained by himself continued to be buried in the hands of Uzumaki Naruto, even he felt a little heartbroken. These are all his future team members who will become Hokage, and each of them has impressive strength. Now being harvested like Chinese cabbage, Danzo feels that his heart has been cut fiercely. This is all his hard work. Oh, Yumi, Hinata, Yamanaka. You have a really rich team. Unfortunately, their tricks are useless to me. Looking at the parasites spreading around the roots, Naruto tried to control his heart to turn around, the ninja with white pupils, the corners of Naruto's mouth slightly curled up. Red Dragon Talisman. Accompanied by Naruto's voice, a flame with intense heat erupted rapidly, and a flaming dragon condensed in the air, roaring and then attacking in the direction of Danzo. Be careful, Danzo-sama. Master Danzo, please step back. Boom. The moment they touched them, crimson flames swept their bodies, and they fell to the ground after a scream, revealing their scorched bodies. Boom. In a panic, Danzo fell to the ground, staring blankly at the surrounding corpses, all gone, all gone. No, 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 there's still you, and you, just one of you is enough. There are so many people in this group of trash, it's useless, right, and you. Danzo suddenly reacted, and laughed a little crazy, with seals on his hands. Spiritualism Dream Toad. The smoke cleared, and a strange-looking psychic beast appeared in front of Danzo. Wind Escape Vacuum Jade. Mengtoad and Danzo have cooperated many times, and they are very familiar with each other. Danzo's ninjutsu is multiplied under the blessing of Mengtoad's deep breath. I've said it all, it's useless. With a light wave of Naruto's right hand, the red chakra coat instantly scattered Danzo's function. Now is the opportunity. Danzo is excited, and the big windmill in the dead corner of the kaleidoscope in his right eye is spinning crazily. Don't God, activate. A tear of blood trickled down from his right eye. Become my loyal subordinate, Uzumaki Naruto. A tear of blood trickled down from his right eye. Become my loyal subordinate, Uzumaki Naruto. Ha 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 ha, Sarutobi, just wait, the seat of Hokage will eventually belong to me. No, I don't think you can get it. When Danzo was proud, Naruto said lightly. Nani. Danzo's face was dark and difficult to see, and his eyes almost popped out of their sockets. The other gods that he regarded as his trump card were useless to Naruto. Did not attack. No, he clearly saw it clearly, other gods have already succeeded. Isn't it strange, why didn't Uchiha Shisui's other gods have no effect on me? Seeing Danzo's unbelievable look, Naruto said calmly. Without all preparations, do you think I will step into the roots? Looking at Naruto's indifferent expression and the confidence that everything is under control, Danzo is finally afraid. He doesn't want to die, he hasn't become Hokage yet, and he hasn't fulfilled his dream yet. For Konoha, I can't die yet, yes, I can't die. For Konoha. As Danzo said, his eyes became brighter and brighter, and then under Naruto's surprised gaze, he began to run away. Now, are you still thinking about Konoha? This guy doesn't really think that what he does is protecting Konoha, does he? There is no one who can do this with self-hypnosis. Naruto can't understand Danzo's thoughts, but he knows what his purpose is. Call out. Accompanied by a flash of thunder, Naruto's body instantly disappeared in place. When he reappeared, he was still holding a bloody shuriken. Danzo's body stood still. Fu-chi-chi-chi. A few seconds later, Naruto put away the shuriken. A large amount of blood rained out from Danzo's body, and the bright red color left a strong color on Naruto's clothes. Naruto lowered his head, and no one could see his expression clearly. Slowly, he walked to the side of Danzo, and his black shoes stepped on his head. It's over, Danzo. The lonely voice that belongs to Naruto rang in Danzo's ears. Naruto put his right hand lightly on Danzo's right shoulder, and then stab. Very easily, Naruto tore Danzo's right hand full of Sharingan, many of which were closed due to Danzo's aggressive use of Izanagi, but there are still a small number of Sharingan with vitality. It is conceivable how many Sharingans were installed on his right arm by Danzo at the beginning. Uchiha Shisui's eyes were also taken away. Although other gods have been used, it may not be worthless. Cough cough. Danzo woke up from the coma due to the severe pain. He didn't bother with Naruto's movements, but just looked up with his eyes absent-minded. Did I lose? Yes, I lost. Danzo sighed. In his whole life, he did not catch up with Hiruzen, nor did he become Hokage, but for Konoha, he has no regrets. Uzumaki Naruto, I'm waiting for you in hell. That's a pity, you'll never be able to wait. Naruto put away his arms and eyes, and didn't take Danzo's words to heart. After tomorrow, even if Senjujuma is alive, he will not be his opponent. In the entire ninja world, except for Lu Dao, he will not be afraid of anyone anymore. Boom. As he spoke, Naruto stomped on Danzo's head. Slowly leaving the roots, the dark night makes people feel empty and quiet, the evening wind is desolate and howling on the ground, the bright moonlight illuminates Naruto's back. Is it all over? Naruto looked at the sky and asked. No, it's just the beginning. The next day, the destruction of Genbu and the death of Elder Konoha Danzo caught the attention of Anbu, and Hiruzuru Sarutobi immediately ordered the news to be blocked. Root. Sarutobi looked at the corpse on the ground in confusion. Although the corpse was not intact, he still recognized his old partner at a glance. Old man, you left earlier than me. Closing his eyes, the 3 generations who were already old seemed to have grown a little more at this moment. At this moment, there was confusion, anger, and a sense of relief in his heart. It's Naruto, you still can't help but attack him. I said long ago, don't attack him, he's hiding too deeply. Without enough preparation, you can only kill yourself if you act rashly. Shaking his head, Hiruzuru Sarutobi's cloudy eyes left 2 lines of hot tears. Yes, Danzo has done a lot of wrong things, and he participated in the death of many heroes of Konoha, but he is always the same as when he was a teenager. Good company. Now that he died like this, leaving him alone for the rest of his life, it was inevitable to be a little sad. Bury them well. Sighing silently, Sarutobi turned around slowly and left, even though he knew it was Naruto who moved, but he still didn't intend to attack Naruto. Shang, now he is just an old man, as long as Naruto doesn't do anything to really hurt Konoha, he can bear it. The sky began to rain gradually, the dark sky was covered with dark clouds, without a ray of sunshine. At the same time, Naruto's home. After finishing today's training, Naruto lay on the bed, his mind entering the system space. 21 energy points. Did the root provide me with a total of 17 energy points? It feels a little small, but who knows how many people there are in the root. I guess there are still many who have not been recalled by Danzo. System, exchange for Uchiha's blood, and then condense the Sharingan on this arm and integrate it into my Sharingan. The cells between the pillars also help me integrate into the immortal body. Naruto took out Danzo's arm from the space ring and said to the system. Ding, follow the host's request and start exchanging and merging, spend energy points. After the system was in operation, Naruto felt a lot of heat flowing through his eyes and body, which was very comfortable. However, just when Naruto was relaxing, suddenly, an extremely terrifying mysterious force kept irrigating his body, starting a new round of marrow washing. It was as if the eyes had been dug out and then stuffed back in. The cells in the body seemed to die in an instant and replaced with new ones, an illusion of relaxation. The body relaxes instantly and then is forcibly tightened again, double the pain. Endless pain invaded Naruto's nerves. The muscles, cells, and bones of the whole body should have shown strong vitality through the fusion of intercolumnar cells, but it gave people the feeling of being hacked into pieces. If this kind of pain is just an ordinary person, he might not even be able to last 3 seconds. In his previous life, he probably could last 3 seconds at most. The daily training volume is enough to make any peer or even an adult go crazy, but he persisted abruptly. This kind of will may not be said to be as firm as a rock, but he can definitely be regarded as a resolute person. More importantly, he knows that after this pain is over, his strength will usher in a surge, even if he still cannot reach the level of the 6 realms, but only a few steps away. Compared with the improvement of strength, these pains seemed to be insignificant. So when the pain became more and more intense, Naruto gritted his teeth, his face expressionless. If it wasn't because of the pressure of pain, his body would sweat unconsciously, and no one would be able to see him just by looking at his face. I am experiencing pain that ordinary people can't imagine. Boom! Accompanied by a roar, the cells in Naruto's whole body were completely renewed. At the same time, a large amount of energy permeated into Naruto's meridians, and the congenital chi began to gradually expand under the impetus of this energy, faintly resonating with Naruto's chakra. The posture of keeping pace with the number. You must know that although Naruto first practiced the innate chi of the world under one person, due to its particularity, even Naruto could not speed up the practice of the innate chi, and could only progress step by step. After the effect similar to double cultivation was produced, and it was only slightly accelerated, but it was completely incomparable with the speed of chakra's cultivation. And this time, the fusion of the intercolumn cells seems to have triggered a certain mutation of the innate chi, which increased rapidly in a short period of time, even almost equaling the number of chakras in Naruto's body, which is extremely terrifying. Sensing the end of the fusion, Naruto let out a breath. Clasping his hands unconsciously, he could feel the vitality hidden in his body, which was a completely different feeling from that of an immortal body, similar to Mudun but somewhat different. Rather than saying it is vitality, it is better to say it is a product of energy, a product of a new mutation produced after the mutated innate energy is fused with Mudun, and it also gave Naruto a new ability. Naruto opened the door and walked to a big tree, gently attached his right hand to it. Deprivation. With a light sigh, this originally great tree began to decline slowly, the green leaves gradually turned yellow and began to fall, and Naruto felt an extremely pure life energy slowly flowing from his right hand. Transmitted into his body, Shantian chi and chakra also began to grow with the help of this pure life energy. Naruto closed his eyes to feel the changes in his body. The energy provided to him by this big tree was just a drop in the ocean for him, and it hardly helped him. His purpose was only to test his own ability. Supply. Naruto thought for a while, and then began to try to transfer the life energy in his body to the big tree, and the big tree seemed to have sucked the sweet nectar, and began to greedily absorb the energy sent by Naruto. The withered and yellow trunks are also stretched with green branches and buds, and oval leaves grow from the branches, glowing with new vitality. I see. Naruto withdrew his right hand, and the growth of the tree stopped. Innate chi is the original chi that gives birth to heaven, earth, man, and all things. It is the basic quality that constitutes everything in the world. Our practice should be to comprehend the nature of the world, understand the laws and mysteries from it, and deepen our understanding of cultivation. In order to achieve a breakthrough. Although my innate chi had mutated before, it only speeded up my cultivation speed and increased my attack power. But now the mutation produced by the fusion with Mudden has given me the ability that is close to plundering, not even must only plunder life energy. Everything in the world, including human beings, is composed of innate chi. Since I can plunder the life energy of trees, I can also plunder other things without accident. This is equivalent to a different kind of devouring ability, not bad. Quote. Naruto nodded in satisfaction, the pain this time is worth it. And, the rewards don't stop there. Naruto touched his eyes, there are 2 different pupil techniques being bred in them. Speaking of which, it's just 100,000 energy points. In addition to Mudden, I also got a kaleidoscope. System, you are so upright that I don't know what to say. Are you sure you won't lose money? Ding, the host's doubts were detected, and the system began to estimate. The Uchiha bloodline in this world is worth energy points. It takes energy points to condense Sharingan, and energy point to gather the host's past anger into Sharingan. Optimal fusion of intercolumn cells worth energy points, total estimated huge energy points. The system collects 100,000 energy points from the host, no loss. Quote. You're fine, what else can I say? Naruto shrugged, he shouldn't have asked, which system would do business at a loss. 2 days passed quickly, and Naruto got acquainted with his brand new body, and mastered his soaring strength and new abilities. Here I have to say one more thing, multiple shadow clones, really easy to use. This time, it is the last step of the Chunin exam. On this day, the atmosphere in Konoha was also very lively, like a festival. These people did not know about the death of Danzo and the destruction of the roots. In other words, Hiruzuru Sarutobi didn't want them to know. Although he has the face to boast that he is the strongest Hokage in history and write it in textbooks, he has the face to tolerate Danzo's evil deeds, but regarding Danzo, he still doesn't know what to do with it, how to beautify it. In the exam venue, the auditorium is already full. Many spectators had already arrived at the exam venue before the examinees arrived. It is conceivable that Konoha attaches great importance to the Chunin exam. Dazzling and colorful fireworks scattered in the sky, accompanied by the sound, announcing the start of the third official match of this Chunin exam. Naruto checked the clock, and came to the venue without haste when there was still half an hour left. The 10 candidates who passed the knockout round, including Sasuke, have all arrived. As his opponent in the first test, Ninji Hinata was looking at him with a fighting spirit. Naruto didn't care about this, as if he didn't see him, he found a place to rest his eyes and closed his eyes. Meanwhile, in the audience, is he the one my sister likes? He looks good, but he feels cold. How could my sister like him? Hinata Hanabi looked curiously at Naruto in the center of the venue, not understanding why her sister fell in love with him. Is it good looks? But she remembered that her sister didn't pay much attention to that. Is it strength? But this year's chief student is Uchiha Sasuke. What is it then? Hanabi, don't be in a daze, wait for the battle later, pay attention to Neji's movements, he is currently the most talented of the younger generation of the Hyuga clan, but it is a pity that the family is separated, you have to learn with humility, and you will become better than him in the future, stronger. The clan can't be worse than the clan. Hinata Hyuzu said seriously to Hanabi. Yes, Huahuo looked bitter, but nodded obediently. Well, don't try to imitate your older sister, her personality and aptitude are too bad, as the prostitute of the Hyuga clan, what does she look like being weak? Speaking of Hinata is just angry, and it's a good thing he was born in Hinata, otherwise Hinata's character would not be able to survive in the ninja world. The one with the white eyes is Neji Hyuga, the genius of the Hyuga clan, right? Was the first match so explosive? I'll talk about it later, but if you look at Ninji Hinata's opponent carefully, do you think he looks familiar? I feel like I've seen him somewhere before. Don't tell me, I have this feeling too, it's very familiar, but I can't remember it. That hair, that body shape is a demon fox, a monster. It turned out to be him. This monster can take the Chunin exam. Isn't this a disgusting person? He is also a ninja. A monster has become a ninja, you say it's funny, ha 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 ha. 3 generations of adults are kind. If it were me, I would definitely kill this monster to sacrifice to heaven. Many viewers have seen Naruto's identity. Although there has been a world-changing difference in image, if a person has a deep understanding of Naruto, it is not difficult to recognize Naruto's identity. However, it's too ironic that no one recognizes the face that is almost exactly the same as that of the 4th Hokage Namikaze Minato. Can't you all see the huge Hokage rock outside? Sure enough, dead people are particularly easy to be forgotten. Exam begins. Shiranui Genma looked at the 10 people in the center of the venue and said, in the first round, Naruto Uzumaki will face Neji Hinata, and the rest will leave the examination room. Soon, only Naruto, Neji, and the chief examiners Shiranui Genma were left on the field of New Oda. Neji Hyuga looked at Naruto and said confidently, go ahead, fate tells me that you will be defeated by me. Naruto didn't speak, and looked at Neji like he was looking at a fool. It is undeniable that fate does exist, but if a person keeps talking about fate, isn't that just making excuses? After the meeting loses, will Ninji Hinata say, fate made me lose to you? Let's start, Naruto said lightly. Boom, Ning-Si's eyes sank, and he could naturally see Naruto's disdain for him, so he didn't say any more nonsense about it, and turned into an afterimage and rushed towards Naruto. The right hand launched a piercing attack on Naruto. Naruto just watched him attacking him calmly, without resisting. Seeing that a punch was about to approach his door, Naruto took a sudden step forward, his left hand was as fast as lightning, and he grabbed Neji's wrist, right foot. A whip kick directly greeted Ning-Chi's head. The whip kick made a sound of breaking through the air, and Ning-Si subconsciously wanted to use his left hand to resist it. Bang! PFF'd. But before his left hand moved, a huge force fell on his forehead, directly blasting him away, and fell to the ground coughing uncontrollably, and even felt a little unconscious. Boom. Before Hyuga Ningji came back to his senses, he was in a daze, and when he saw a footprint, it was magnified in his eyes. With a loud noise, his body flew into the air, and the strength almost made him foaming at the mouth. The whole person was extremely uncomfortable. When Hinata Neji was falling, Naruto kicked him in the stomach and flew into the air again, after repeating this more than 10 times. Examiner, let's judge. Naruto withdrew his feet, let Hinata Neji's body fall to the ground, and said calmly. Okay, then the first scene, the vortex. It was also the first time Shiranui Genma saw such brutal beatings, and he really didn't know what to say for a while, but it seemed that Ningji Hinata didn't have much fighting power, and he was just planning to judge the result. I can go on. Hyuga Ningji stood up with scattered steps, his brain was also groggy, and it seemed that he was going to faint in the next second, but he really felt that he had never been so awake before. He can't lose, he must not lose. Continue. Facing Naruto, Hinata Neji said something like a roar. Bang, boom. Naruto stepped forward in an instant, and punched out violently. There was a violent sound of piercing through the air, and the strong force swept across Neji's abdomen. PFF'd. Vomit. Ning-Si fell to his knees, twitching all over his body, his internal organs seemed to have cracks, he opened his mouth, just about to say something, but the next second. Boom. Naruto kicked his head again, and he, who was already drowsy, really fainted after the blow. Examiner, it's okay this time. After Naruto was sure that Ningji Hinata would never wake up again, he turned and said to Genma Shiranui who was beside him. Well, the first match, Uzumaki Naruto, wins. Shiranui Xuanjian announced loudly, and at the same time, he couldn't help being a little surprised at Uzumaki Naruto in his heart. This little brat, his attack was too decisive, he didn't look like a kid of this age at all. Almost all the attacks were aimed at the opponent's weak point, and judging by the relaxed appearance of the opponent, it should be that he did not use all his strength, otherwise, Ningji Hinata would have been killed instead of unconscious. It's really funny to say that the majestic genius of the Hyuga clan was beaten to such an extent by a commoner. At the same time, the audience who originally planned to watch Naruto's joke fell silent. After the atmosphere fell into a brief silence, an even more intense commotion erupted. How is it possible? Did you see that monster killed Hinata Ningji, the genius of the Hyuga clan? How is it possible? He dared not even do anything to my kid, how could he have such strength? If Hinata Neji hadn't been beaten so badly, I would have believed that this was a fake match. I can only say that the monster has been hiding his strength, and he probably planned to become a blockbuster at this time. At such a young age, his mind is so vicious. It really is a monster. A demon fox is a demon fox, and a monster is a monster. Do you think it's great to be strong? I will never forgive him in this life. He should be wasted. On the other side, Hinata Hanabi looked at Hinata Hinata, wanted to say something but didn't know how to say it, so she could only signal with her eyes. This is Neji Hinata that you want me to learn humbly. What to learn? How to quickly lose the ability to fight. Well, this time, Ning-Si underestimated the enemy. We were defeated without even using the soft fist of our Hyuga clan, but that brat was really decisive in attacking, and he probably knew the power of our Hyuga clan's soft fist. Hyuga Hyuzu was also a little embarrassed. He really didn't expect that the genius of the Hyuga clan would be killed in seconds. He shouted a few words from the beginning to the end, and he didn't get a punch. If he had known, he wouldn't have come. But he definitely can't say that in front of Hanabi. He must save the face of the Hyuga clan, and explained to Hanabi in a serious manner. No, you can blow this. Huahuo's eyes widened, showing her white eyes without any impurities. Ahem, alright, let's leave it at that, the next battle won't be anything to watch. Seeing his daughter's suspicious eyes, the Hyuga clan couldn't help coughing twice, then stood up and prepared to leave with Hyuga Hanabi. In his eyes, Hyuga Neji's failure was equivalent to the end of the Chunin exam. His purpose of coming here was to see the strength of the genius who separated from the family. However, it is clear that it is not as good as it should be. As for Hinata, he really didn't expect her to be able to get into the final battle, but it doesn't matter, as far as her strength is concerned, the final result is just elimination. I already know the result, is there any need to watch it? Well, my lord father, my sister hasn't started yet. Hyuga Hanabi tugged on Hyuga Hidatsu's sleeve and said hesitantly. HMPH, as far as your sister is concerned, the battle is just to embarrass the Hinata clan, what's so interesting about it? Hinata Hijuru said with a cold face. Hey, my lord father, just take it as my companion, okay? Hyuga Hanabi said softly while pulling Hyuga Hidatsu's arm. Forget it, it's only this time today. Hyuga Hyuzu wanted to refuse, but seeing Hanabi's expectant eyes, his heart softened a little, and he sat down again after speaking. I knew father was the best, he. Hinata Hanabi said happily. At the same time, the central. Next game, Uchiha Sasuke vs Gaara, please enter. Genma Shiranui compared the list and said loudly. Sasuke Uchiha twisted his neck, and easily jumped to the side of Genma Shiranui, looking at Gaara with excitement in his eyes. He didn't forget that the other party humiliated him before the Chunin exam, since he only asked Naruto's name and didn't ask me Uchiha Sasuke. Do you think I must be worse than Naruto? Well, it is indeed a little bit worse now, but it is only a little bit, at least compared to you. I think I am more suitable to be Naruto's opponent. You panda eyes. Gaara stared at Sasuke, with a cold look in his eyes, showing a bloodthirsty smile. Sasuke frowned slightly. This guy looks a little weird, is he trying to kill me? Just by you. Later, I must let you see the strength of my Uchiha Sasuke. When the audience in the stand saw Uchiha Sasuke, they all shouted in unison, all cheering for Sasuke, wanting to see his strength. After all, this was the younger brother of Itachi Uchiha, who was a hit at the time, and the last member of the Uchiha clan. It is also the chief of this year. Even the strength of that monster is so strong, isn't this chief stronger? As for the attitude of the Uchiha clan towards them before, they're all dead, so it's fine to say that you deserve what you deserve. Who would transfer hatred to a child? Is that so, Naruto? Sasuke and Gaara looked at each other, one had a cold demeanor, and the other was full of killing intent. It was obvious that Gaara had already started to kill. He wanted to kill Uchiha Sasuke in this place. In that case, it should be able to prove its existence, right? Gaara thinks so. It's a pity that it's you, not Uzumaki Naruto. Gaara stared at Sasuke, said hoarsely, with a trace of regret and pity. Sasuke frowned when he heard this. What a joke, I don't agree with your words. If you can't even defeat me, challenging Naruto is just killing yourself. Sasuke said unwillingly. I will prove my strength. At the cost of your life. Gaara said with a grin. I hope you can still say such big words after seeing my strength. Sasuke said disdainfully. Okay, let's start. Shiranuo Schwanjian rolled his eyes. These two little brats were killing each other at every turn, just like bragging. After speaking, he stepped back, leaving enough space for the two of them. Art fire escape ho fireball. At the moment when Shiranui Genma's words just fell, Sasuke quickly formed a seal, practicing ninjutsu. The short-range fire escape is much more lethal than the long-distance one, and it is also much harder to avoid, but Sasuke has seen Gaara's sand defense before. This move may not be useful to him. But it doesn't matter, he still has back hands. Facing Sasuke's fire escape, Gaara folded his hands on his chest without blinking his eyes, but the gourd on his back automatically gushed out sand, wrapped him up, and formed a sand ball. Come on, I know it. Sasuke curled his lips, quickly closed and opened his eyes. Two red goblins twirled in his eyes, and his hands began to seal. Squeaky squeak. The sound of ripping birdsong accompanied by scattered thunder and lightning stimulated people's vision and senses, and many audience members became excited. Although they were just ordinary people, it was not that they had never seen ninjutsu. Such a posture is definitely not something that low-level ninjutsu can bring. No way, Kakashi, why did you hand Chidori to him? This kind of ninjutsu is too dangerous. Akai looked at Zuo on the field with a little surprise, and asked Kakashi beside him curiously. Kakashi rolled his eyes at Kai, and said unhappily, aren't I going to give it to him? What's more, the most suitable ninjutsu is someone with Sharingan. Now besides Sasuke, who else can I give it to? Moreover, you also have the face to criticize me. If you don't look at yourself, the 8-door Dunjia is passed on, right? That Xiao Li is exactly like you. I think he is your illegitimate son. Isn't Baman Dunjia more dangerous than my ninjutsu? Quote. Ah, that. Pretend I didn't say it. Akai scratched his head in embarrassment. Kakashi's words seemed to make a little sense. Okay, let's watch the game. Kakashi shook his head and said. Squeaky. On the field, birds chirped, endless thunder light continued to bloom, and Sasuke's body was slightly lowered, and Sasuke quickly attacked Gaara. Chidori. Sasuke shouted loudly, and pushed forward with his right hand. Chidori's powerful penetrating power directly pierced Gaara's absolute defense. Seeing this, Sasuke was a little excited. Did you see it? This trick was broken by me. Nothing special. How is it possible? Gaara's absolute defense was broken. What kind of ninjutsu was that move just now? Gaara won't have any problems, right? Seeing this, Temari and Kankuro in the auditorium were a little unbelievable. As Gaara's relatives, they understood the power of absolute defense better than anyone else. It can be said that ordinary A-level ninjutsu cannot break Gaara's defense. Could it be that the thunder done just now was an A-level or even an S-level ninjutsu? But Kankuro and Temari looked at Gaara nervously. You must know that your younger brother is not a kind person. If he is injured, he will go crazy. As expected, in the center of the venue, Gaara felt a bit sticky where he was scratched by Sasuke's ninjutsu, frowned, and touched it up. This color is blood. This is my blood. I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill you. Gaara looked at the bright red color on his hand in disbelief. He was bleeding. Unforgivable. Unforgivable. Gaara looked at Sasuke's eyes full of madness, and the two pupils changed into animal pupils in an instant. Roar. At the same time, a beast-like roar came out of Gaara's mouth, and countless wind sand in the gourd behind him began to flow out slowly, surrounding him. Why does this guy's aura become stronger? Sasuke looked at Gaara vigilantly, and now he gave himself a dangerous feeling, a bit like facing Naruto but seemed almost to something. When you get angry, the seal will loosen. It's true, but it's true. After all, it's Sand Ninja Village. The sealing technique can't even match Konoha, let alone the whirlpool. It's not bad for Jinchuriki to survive. Naruto didn't comment on the crude sealing method of Sand Ninja Village. If the one sealed in Gaara's body was Kurama, it is estimated that the seal would be useless to it. However, except for the top ninjas who were at the top ninja level, the rest of the audience, including the audience, thought that the ninja of the Sand Ninja Village was about to show off their full strength, and they lamented the excitement of the game. And just as everyone was expecting what kind of moves Gaara would use, feathers suddenly began to slowly float in the air of the entire venue. As the plan about to start, looking indifferently at the vision happening in front of him, Naruto's blue eyes flashed a hint of red, and 3 goblins swirled in his eyes. At the same time, he also noticed that at the edge of the venue, a ninja wearing a cat face mask is secretly using illusion. At this moment, Kakashi and the other Junin also noticed that someone used a large-scale illusion in the arena. They hurriedly encouraged chakra, and the illusion was dispelled in an instant, but most of the spectators on the field had passed out on the ground. Naruto, what's going on? Sasuke suddenly appeared next to Naruto, and asked in puzzlement. Have you forgotten? The person in the Forest of Death, Konoha's collapse plan. Naruto said lightly. That's it. Sasuke asked in surprise. He didn't doubt Naruto's words, but felt that the movement was a little too small. Almost. Naruto said something quietly, and then disappeared in front of Sasuke. Sasuke frowned. Oshimaru, I didn't expect it to be you. Hiruzuru Sarutobi looked at Orochimaru in front of him, and said with complicated eyes. Even at the beginning of the illusion, he just thought that Sand Ninja Village wanted to violate the past treaty and betray Konoha, but he didn't expect it to be his former disciple Orochimaru. Hiss, I didn't expect, Sarutobi-sensei, that our meeting again would be in such an occasion, with such an identity. Orochimaru licked his lips, and said hoarsely to Sarutobi. Yeah, I really didn't expect that you actually killed Sadai Kazekage. You must know that the strength of the 4th Kazekage Rasa is not weak, and the one-handed magnetic escape is even more powerful. It can even suppress the powerful strength of Aikizuki in the desert in a state of rampage. Such a powerful ninja was actually killed by Orochimaru died. How did Sarutobi-sensei know that I killed the 4th Kazekage? Maybe it's a cooperation between us. You must know that Sand Ninja Village has been coveting Konoha for a long time. Orochimaru asked with interest. You are my disciple, I still don't understand your character. Hiruzuru Sarutobi said with certainty, although this disciple has betrayed Konoha now, he will never let outsiders take advantage of him. Now that he appears here, it means that the fourth Hokage has died under his control. On hand. Ms. Sarutobi really understands me, Orochimaru said with a smile. Come back, Orochimaru, Konoha needs you. Hiruzuru Sarutobi opened his arms, and said to Orochimaru, it was impossible to drive Orochimaru away at the beginning. If it weren't for Danzo and the common people, he would never let Orochimaru leave. A genius ninja who meets once in 10 years, it can be said that in his eyes, Orochimaru's talent is even stronger than that of Kakashi and Uchiha Itachi, and even comparable to that of the original Senjutsu. This talent is not reflected in strength but in wisdom and research. The value of Orochimaru to Konoha is much higher than the lives of those civilians. Hiss, Sarutobi-sensei, don't you think your words are ridiculous now? I came to Konoha this time purely for revenge. I originally had a collaborator, but unfortunately he died, so I can only do it alone. Yes, but interestingly, I found a like-minded teenager in Konoha. He was able to discover truths that were hidden under common sense, but I had never thought about them. Moreover, after hearing his statement, I really found that my research was particularly strange and even weird. My research equipment and research results seemed to have appeared out of thin air. Those items should never have appeared in our era, but they appeared. Cells, cloning, experimentation, extraction, observation. These definitions that I have never forgotten in my mind are completely different from this world. If I have to explain it, it seems that this world is not real at all but created. It's unreasonable. Many concepts are very vague, as if they have been taken by others. This world seems to be written by people, and we are the characters in the book. But it doesn't matter, I will find all the answers. Quote. Orochimaru's eyes are full of desire for the unknown. And Hiruzuru Sarutobi didn't know much about Orochimaru's words. Is this world false? Is this world written by people? Am I a character in a book? Is my disciple crazy? If the world is fake, how can they possibly have their own emotions? Even later, there will be a life and death fight. If this world is false, then as a character in this false world, why do you have the idea that this is a false world? If this world is false, what are their lives, their beliefs, their will to fire? You've already been possessed, Orochimaru. As your former teacher, I advise you to wake up earlier. Sarutobi said coldly to Orochimaru. Sir Sarutobi, you still can't understand me, you can only judge the problem based on your own subjectivity. Orochimaru shook his head after hearing Sarutobi's words. He could understand what his teacher was thinking now, but he could only say that he was not the same person after all. If it was Naruto, he would definitely understand my thoughts. Orochimaru said in his heart, and at the same time looked forward to the next meeting with Naruto. What he didn't know was that what he said was heard by Naruto, and his calm heart was also shocked by Orochimaru's words. Unbelievable, Orochimaru can guess that the world he lives in is false. Naruto didn't know how to express it, he just raised some scientific questions, and Orochimaru was able to think of the falsehood of the entire Hokage world. It even turned out that this world was created by humans and belongs to the world in the book. System, can you explain? Naruto frowned. According to Orochimaru, he can generate false ideas about the world as long as there is a problem with the definition of many items in this world, and there is no reasonable explanation. This represents the rationality of the world. If the Hokage world under his feet has become a real world, then there should be answers to these questions, but Orochimaru can detect something wrong, which means that this world has not yet become a real world. So what is he now? Traveling or dreaming? If time travels, this world doesn't even have the basic rationality, but dreams can't be explained. After all, he can think of other things, he can't make up the practice of innate chi, talismans, ninjutsu, and chakra, right? Ding, I detected the host's question and began to answer it. This world was created on the basis of the original, Naruto, on Earth, because of the power of faith provided by its vast readers, and as a work, the author impossible to be perfect in every detail. It is impossible for him to have some detailed knowledge of physics and biology in the book, nor will he point out who the creator of the TV and refrigerator is, so when the world is shaped, he must spend a lot of time slowly repairing and perfecting it. Therefore, although the perfection of the Naruto world itself has not been improved, there is no doubt that this is indeed the real Naruto world. Quote. You mean that there are works first, and then there is the world. And only works that are recognized by the majority of readers and provide the power of belief can be transformed into the real world. This is different from the multidimensional information leaks I have seen before. Quote, Ding, please don't underestimate the level of imagination of the author of the Earth, not just the Naruto world. Many powerful worlds are created in this process. There are works first, and then there is the world. However, there are also many worlds that have nothing to do with the work, and even the worlds that were not created by the authors on Earth exist in 10,000 realms. Quote, the system clearly stated, I understand this point. After all, it is impossible for only one planet, the Earth, to have intelligent life forms, but rationality is always a problem, and this problem will not occur in other worlds, right? Naruto nodded and asked again. Ding, the system is not sure, but as a character in the world, if no one mentions it, it is impossible to guess it. Orochimaru also has doubts about his research equipment because of the host's words. This world obviously has no knowledge about genes and biology, but he understands it naturally, and he doesn't even doubt it psychologically. If this world has such knowledge, who is the one who proposed it? Such a great man, there is no reason why he would not know the name of the other party. Others don't need to know, but he is Orochimaru. He has no reason not to know. But there is no doubt that he did not know, did not even suspect. Why would he know knowledge that has never appeared before? Why is something popular that has not been created? Why is the concept that has not been proposed so clear to everyone? Is this world really reasonable? Then, thinking about the problem, the host said, he made such a bold guess. Quote, it can only be said that he is worthy of being Orochimaru. The system also expressed its admiration for Orochimaru. Although there are Naruto's reasons in it, if Orochimaru does not have enough wisdom, it will not doubt this aspect at all. Really? Naruto nodded, and at the same time, an instant body appeared in the four-element barrier. Onbi at the barrier, Orochimaru and Sarutobi Hiruzen all looked at Naruto. Naruto-kun, we meet again. Orochimaru said excitedly, seeing Naruto. Yeah, we meet again, Orochimaru, I heard your guess just now, it's amazing. Naruto also showed a rare smile and said to Orochimaru, in his heart, Orochimaru's status can be regarded as a straight-line rise, and he is more and more satisfied with this collaborator. That's really great. Naruto-kun should have already had those thoughts I just had, right? Orochimaru's eyes lit up, and he said with a hint. Of course, the cooperation between us can go deeper. Naruto nodded and said, cooperation? What cooperation? Naruto, do you know what you are doing? The other party is Konoha's S-class rebellious ninja. Do you want to betray Konoha? Hiruzuru Sarutobi couldn't help feeling angry when he saw the two talking and laughing happily in front of him. Oh, does Master Sandai have any advice? Naruto tilted his head lightly, his eyes flickering coldly. Or whether I will betray Konoha, don't you know? You. Hiruzuru Sarutobi's eyes were angry. Forget it before, after all, it didn't happen in front of his eyes, but when did you Uzumaki Naruto dare to speak like this in front of me? Take measures. Do you really think that I dare not kill you? Or do you think that you are very strong after killing Danzo? Let me tell you, there are people in Konoha who can kill you. Ha 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 ha, ha ha ha, there are some people who can kill me. Come on, I'll just listen to the 3 generations of adults. You can give me a few examples, and let me see how I sit in the sky. Hearing Sarutobi Hiruzen's words, Naruto couldn't help laughing out loud. Are you Konoha or the Konoha you just started? There are people who can kill me. Orochimaru also looked at Hiruzuru Sarutobi with great interest. His hoarse voice was somewhat teasing. Yes, Sarutobi sensei, I also want to hear how powerful Konoha is now. You. Hiruzuru Sarutobi opened his mouth. That's right, who is the Konoha Kage class now? Self. He counts as 1, but what about him? Kakashi. Elite Ninja. K. Elite Ninja. Evening Red. Do not say worth mentioning. At most, it seems to add myself, but with my current strength. Sarutobi Hiruzen looked at Orochimaru and Naruto with a gloomy face. Orochimaru is his most proud disciple, and his strength has reached the Kage level a long time ago, and Naruto, he can kill Danzo because he is the best for his strength prove. If it was him at his peak, he would not be afraid, but now. Sarutobi's expression kept changing, and in the end he returned to the image of the kind old man at the beginning. Yes, he still chose to compromise when he estimated the fighting power between the two parties. He was not willing to take risks. What's more, Naruto's current strength is not weak, and now he is very young. In time, he will be the second Namikaze Minato. Naruto, I know you have complaints about Konoha, but you have to know, Konoha also has difficulties, as long as... What is the difficulty? Naruto interrupted Sarutobi's words and asked directly. Difficulties. Sarutobi choked, not knowing how to answer. Difficulties. What difficulties can there be? What difficulties can there be in one sentence? For the sake of the common people's psychology, so you are used as the object of their venting. To calm their hearts. Naruto, this is all for Konoha. After he couldn't find an excuse, Sarutobi said the words that made Naruto extremely bored again. Buy a batch of Konoha, for you. Keep saying it's for Konoha. Okay, so can the third Hokage-sama please tell me how many good things you have done for Konoha? Let these villagers understand what the strongest Hokage in Konoha's history has done. Heaven and earth, weeping ghosts and gods are good deeds. Naruto made a gesture of invitation to Hiruzuru Sarutobi. Okay, aren't you doing it for Konoha? Then how many good deeds have you done for Konoha? Come on, tell me, tell these villagers. Listen up. Sarutobi choked again. He became the third Hokage for so many years. What did he do for Konoha? War. He is always behind the scenes, talking and laughing with other high-level. Develop. Konoha originally occupies the most abundant land, and individuals can develop it well. To cultivate. He did train Konoha Sanrin. What else? What else had he not considered? Could it be that he has been in power for so many years and has not done anything good for Konoha? What? Are the three generations embarrassed to say it? Then let me give you a few examples. Naruto showed a meaningful smile at Sarutobi, and Sarutobi suddenly had a bad feeling in his heart. He could feel that what Naruto said next was definitely not a good thing for him. Part 1. The demise of the thousand-handed clan. As soon as Naruto opened his mouth, everyone was shocked. Everyone, including the ninja, widened their eyes and looked at Naruto in disbelief. What did he say? The demise of the thousand hands has something to do with the three Hokages. How is this possible? You must know that the third Hokage is a disciple of the second Hokage. How could he do such an act of deceiving the master and destroying the ancestors? At the same time, everyone at the same time focused their eyes on Hiruzen Sarutobi, as if they wanted to know whether what Uzumaki Naruto said was true or not. Shut up, Naruto, you don't know anything. Hiruzuru Sarutobi was anxious, and he wanted to strike first, but was directly interrupted by Orochimaru. Hiss, Sarutobi-sensei, don't forget, I'm still here, and I'm also very interested in Sarutobi-sensei's achievements. Why don't we just listen calmly for a while? There was a hint of smile and curiosity in Orochimaru's hoarse voice. Although he knew that his teacher was not as simple as he thought, he really didn't know much about many political methods. Sarutobi's face was angry, but he didn't dare to do anything for a while. Even the ninjas from Sand Ninja Village and Konoha Village came here to see the excitement and quickly solve the problems at hand, and came here to listen. That is the Thousand Hands clan. The first generation of Hokage, the family of the ninja gods. One of the pioneers of Konoha. In their eyes, the Senju clan disappeared inexplicably, leaving only Senju Tsunade alone. As one of the founders of Konoha, the Senju family is a powerful family that has been handed down from the Warring States period. There are few rivals in the entire ninja world that can match it. Moreover, two Hokages appeared one after another in this family. It is no exaggeration to say that Konoha was established on the basis of Sensho. There is no doubt that this is a family with great strength and lofty prestige. Quote. Naruto paused when he said this, glanced at everyone's reactions from the corner of his eye, and everyone nodded secretly to his words. Only people of that era knew what Sensho looked like in Konoha brilliance at that time. Then the question is, Hokage as Konoha is not as prestigious as a family, so is Hokage deciding Konoha or Senju deciding Konoha? Senju's power seems to be greater than that of Hokage. Is this a good thing? Of course this is not a good thing. Senju's prestige is too strong, it needs to be suppressed, he needs to be weakened. So how should we weaken it without letting Chinsho bring hatred to them? War. The loyalty of the Sensho clan to Konoha can even be said to be foolish loyalty. As long as the war starts, Senshou will always be at the forefront. Isn't this an opportunity? In all wars, the highest death rate is the Senju clan. The middle-aged are sent up, and the young are replaced when they die, and the young are replaced, and the young are replaced when they die. After making suggestions, there is only one Senju Tsunade left and notice Senju clan. Is the method clever? Too smart. Being a Konoha politician is too wrong. You, Midai-sama. Quote. Naruto said the most unbelievable words in the most indifferent tone. Everyone looked at Sarutobi Hiruzen with a trace of fear and suspicion. They don't know whether what Uzumaki Naruto said is true or not, but the war at that time did have the highest death rate among the Senju clan. It is indeed the Chinsho clan who are at the forefront of the war. The second thing. Uchiha exterminates the clan. I don't want to say the reason. After all, you didn't do anything, and the pot is Danzo. The third thing. Konoha Hakuba Hitaki Sakumo's suicide is too ridiculous. What did this powerful ninja do? He just gave up the mission for the lives of his teammates. What a small and insignificant thing. The whole Konoha knows about the trouble. Even the ninja who was rescued by Hitaki Sakumo was blaming him. A ninja should put the mission first. People who give up missions for the sake of teammates are not worthy of being called ninjas. Very powerful reason, indeed. Hitaki Sakumo should watch his teammates die with his own eyes, then clap his hands and give the enemy ninja a thumbs up. This is a proper ninja. Quote. No, you're not right, it's not. A young Chunin looked at Naruto angrily. This is not a ninja. To be a ninja is to protect the lives of those you cherish, and those who cannot protect their companions are not worthy of being called ninjas. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.